The Gators have won the opening coin toss, and Florida has elected to receive. Here in the first quarter, the Gators will move from left to right. Thompson has it teed up for Kentucky. Houston and Jackson are deep. And here we go as Thompson approaches the football, and the ball game is underway. A very high kick coming down to Jack Jackson, 8 yards deep. He'll down it for a touchback. The Gators will put it in play at the 20-yard line. Terry Dean will open at quarterback. 6'2", 204 junior from Naples, completing 73% last week, 16 of 22, 237 yards. Gators come with an I set, Randolph and Rhett. Two wide receivers come wide right to the near sideline. Dean takes the snap, fakes the run, throws the ball over the middle, has Rhett. Eric makes the catch at the 26, turns upfield, and is tackled at the 30-yard line. As on the first play of the game, Dean hits Rhett coming out of the backfield.
That says something awfully strong to me right there. Terry Dean, the experience of last week and the coaching of Steve Spurrier, and his own willingness to do what he needs to do. Drop back, look down the field, didn't try and take too much, dumped the ball to Eric Rhett right over the middle, picking up a 9-yard gain. Very nice.
Chris Doring and Harrison Houston go out wide to the left. Willie Jackson wide to right. There's the snap and the handoff to Rhett. Hole opens left side. Eric cuts back across the 35 and is down and around the 37-yard line where the middle linebacker, Marty Moore, made the stop on Eric Rhett.
Gators line it up with twin receivers to the left, another wide receiver to the right, out of the eye, running the draw play off left tackle. Nice blocking. Eric Rhett found the hole easily for a first down and more.
Gators with the initial first down of the game, as now Doring and Houston come wide to the right, and a single wide receiver goes out to the left. That's Willie Jackson. Randolph and Rhett in the I set. Dean calling the cadence. And we've got a penalty on the left side of the Gator line. I believe it was Reggie Green that was caught moving. Last week, the Gators were penalized 6 times for 40 yards. It is a legal procedure against the Gators.
Chris Doring starting this game. Gators using 3 wide receivers. Chris Doring being the wide receiver on the Twins receiver side. Been out there every down since the first snap.
Houston and Doring again wide right. Willie Jackson wide left. Randolph and Rhett in the I set. A 1st and 15 for the Gators from their own 32-yard line. Left hash. Dean looks over the Wildcat defense, takes the snap, drops back, looks to throw under backside pressure, fires. Doring makes a great catch at the 33-yard line and is dropped immediately. A gain of perhaps only 1 yard as the cornerback, Willie Cannon, came up and made the tackle on Doring. As that time, Dean had to unload it quickly.
Terry Dean read the blitz. Gators changed their route. Chris Doring's responsibility is run a little hitch pattern about 5 yards deep, so Dean would have somebody to unload it to, but where Terry threw the ball, Doring had to come back and make the catch and barely picked up a yard at most.
Randolph leaves the game as an extra wideout go in now. Houston and Jack Jackson, Willie Jackson, Chris Doring, leaving Rhett in the single back. Dean back to pass, now runs straight ahead, 35, 40, and goes to the 45 and escapes to the 47-yard line. He leaped into the air, took a shot up high, and fell forward for a couple of more yards before Marty Moore, the middle linebacker, made the stop on the Gator quarterback, Terry Dean.
Those Gator fans that couldn't see that, that was Terry Dean a la FSU, dropped back to pass, everybody covered, rush coming, took the ball up the middle, used his speed, and when a couple of defenders came to make the tackle, he went airborne, trying to get all he could get. Great effort.
They're going to bring the chains across the way for a measurement, and as they do, we'll go down to the sidelines and hear from Steve Babick.
Well, first, guys, talking about that last play, you don't think that fires up the Gator sideline and the defense to see that their quarterback would risk his body like that and just try to go over the top for the first down? That does a lot for this team and Terry Dean. One thing to keep in mind, the wind is blowing from right to left. The Gators are going into the wind upfield here toward the south end zone, and they'll have the wind the 2nd and 4th quarters. We'll see how that comes into play, but it is a pretty good wind to kick into. So again, the Gators go in the wind. 1st and 3rd quarter, they'll have the win 2nd and 4th.
Kelvin Randolph is back in the game now at fullback for the Gators, who will line up in an I set. Harrison Houston goes out wide to the left side, and the Gators will have 2 wide receivers to the left as Doring will join him over there, and they will bring Willie Jackson wide right to the near side. Gators operate from the right hash, and Florida has 3rd down and about a foot to go. 3rd down, less than a yard from the 47-yard line. David Swain at center, snaps it to Dean on a quarterback sneak. The Florida quarterback surges forward and would appear to have a second first down for the Gators, running straight behind the Florida offensive line.
Watching Terry Dean in the warm-ups, he was very, very sharp. His rhythm was good, his motion was good. Threw the ball with touch, he was very accurate. He seems to have himself together right now. And again, that was a gutty run to almost pick up that first down, and then he pushed it forward for the first down on the quarterback sneak.
Doring and Houston wide to the left and Willie Jackson wide right. Again, Randolph and Rhett in the I set. The handoff to Rhett, hipping and skipping, trying to look for running room. Gets into Kentucky territory just inside the 50-yard line. A gain of perhaps 2 yards before John Collins made the tackle. Collins, the defensive tackle, 5'10", at 255 pounds, a senior from Madisonville, Kentucky. Now the Gators will get Greg Keller in the ball game at tight end for Chris Doring, as Florida now has 2nd and 8 right at the 50-yard line. 11:35 to play, a scoreless first quarter. 2 wide to the left, tight end Keller on the right. Backs are split behind Terry Dean. Dean calls for the football. And the snap from Swain. Dean rolling to his left, has the football, will run it. Tucks it over the left side and fumbles the football as it goes out of bounds. He turned the corner, was hit it around the Kentucky 47. The ball went out of bounds at about the Kentucky 45, a gain of maybe 5 yards.
Nick, to me, this is really neat stuff. I mean, I think everybody knows Coach Spurrier's philosophy about quarterback throwing the ball and handing it off and that type of thing. That was an old-fashioned high school sprint out quarterback roll sweep. Quarterback Terry Dean put the ball under his arm behind the 2 backs and just ran around the left end. It's just Steve Spurrier using Terry Dean's ability.
3rd and 4 from the 46, and last week the Gators completed 33% on 3rd downs. Dean rolls right, throws a pass out here, caught by Willie Jackson at the 42-yard line, shoved out of bounds at the 41. He may have a first down, very close to what he needed, as Willie Cannon came up from the cornerback position, got help from the strong safety in Marcus Jenkins, and they shoved him out. But that time, Dean and Jackson hooked up for the Gators right near the first down marker.
Little hitch pattern again by Willie Jackson. Blitz came, strong safety came in the face of Terry Dean. He shot the ball out to Jackson, who stiff-armed the defender to get up the field for the first down. Gators up.
Gators have 3 first downs. 4 wideouts in the game now for Florida. Eric Rhett in the one-back set. 1st and 10 Gators from the Kentucky 40-yard line. The ball on the right hash. Now Dean looks over the Kentucky defense and takes the snap as he drops back to throw, fires the ball down toward the left sideline. It is overthrown, intended for Harrison Houston at the 15-yard line, as Kentucky had coverage from Marcus Jenkins, the strong safety, covering on Harrison Houston. And now in the passing department, Terry Dean has completed 3 out of 4 tonight for 14 yards.
Terry Dean is doing a good job of recognizing the blitz, of which he identified again on that play. Tried to go deep in the corner to Houston. Willie Jackson came in from his wideout position to a tight end position to help pick up that blitz and block. Dean reading the right things, just missed that particular throw.
Doring and Houston to the left, the Jacksons to the right. Rhett in the one-back set. 2nd and 10 from the 40. Dean rolling left, firing out the left. Has Doring. He's got the ball at the 35-yard line. Shoved out of bounds along the far sideline in front of the Kentucky bench after a gain of 5 for the Gators. Willie Cannon again for Kentucky on the defense for the Wildcats.
Doring, the wide receiver, to the left in a twin set. Hooked up about 5 yards deep. Dean rolled to his left, threw a strike because of the soft coverage in the secondary. Doring catching it for about 5 yards, making it 3rd and 5.
Yeah, 3rd and 5 for the Gators. From the Kentucky 35-yard line, left hash. Eric Rhett in the one-back set. Twins to the left, twins to the right. The handoff to Rhett, straight up the middle. He's got a first down. A hole opens inside the 25, skipping his way to the 20 and down to the Kentucky 19-yard line. Eric Rhett whipping about 15 yards for a Florida first down before the cornerback Stephen Hall brought Rhett to the ground.
Well, Gators lined up in what is normally a passing situation. Ran the draw play to Rhett. Terry Dean did a nice little job after he handed the ball off, stood up and put his arm in a throwing motion. It seemed to freeze the Kentucky defense momentarily, and Eric Rhett had a big running lane to pick up that first down.
1st and 10 for the Gators, just inside the Kentucky 20-yard line. Again, twins left, twins right. Rhett in a one-back set. Dean rolling right, looking to throw, still has the football, now will run it, and gets back to the line of scrimmage, coming to the near sideline, gained maybe 1 yard before he stepped out of bounds at the 19. He was shoved out by Marty Moore as Dean rolled right, wanted to throw, and then took off and gained maybe a yard.
A lot of sprint out pass on this series. Terry Dean full sprint to his right, to the twin receiver side. Terry Dean using that speed to get on the corner.
Terry Dean in 4 carries, 20 yards tonight.
Yeah.
10:20 to play here in this first quarter. There is no score, but the Gators driving on Kentucky. Florida's first possession. Florida now with 2nd down, 9 yards to go from the Wildcat 19-yard line from the right hash mark. Dean looks over the defense, takes the snap, drops back, fires over the middle. It's caught at the 14-yard line. Marty Moore makes the tackle on Eric Rett after a gain of about 5 yards.
Another good job by Terry Dean that time, getting some pressure. Receivers were pushing downfield, trying to work their way open. Nothing really developing very well. Eric Rett came out of the backfield, hooked up in front of the linebacker. Terry Dean let him have the ball, 5-yard gain.
Yeah, the Gators are 3 of 3 in 3rd down conversions tonight on this drive. And here we go for Florida, 3rd and 5 at the 14-yard line. This is the 13th play of the drive. Coming up here now, Rett in a 1-back set. Twins left and twins wide right. Dean on 3rd and 5, drops back, rolls the throw. He throws the ball short, it's incomplete. He had to unload because Zane Bean had bear hugged him and Dean unloaded it. And it fell incomplete. Big pressure by Zane Bean, and the Gators are going to have to kick it as Judd Davis will come in. This Kentucky crowd is excited that they stopped the Gators on that 3rd down try.
Now, Kentucky came with a little twist with their defensive players. It caused some confusion, and then the linebacker shot the gap to get Dean some pressure, but Terry wisely threw the ball away. Now the ball sits right on about the 14.5-yard line near the right hash. Excellent field goal range.
Edge will hold. It'll be a 31-yard kick for Judd Davis. There's the snap, there's the set down, there's the kick. It's up, and it is good.
Good-looking drive by the Gator offense.
Judd Davis hitting a 31-yard field goal. The Gators ran 14 plays in 5.5 minutes and take a 3-0 lead on the Judd Davis field goal. And now Shane Edge will attempt his first kickoff in a Gator uniform. Ryan Roden and Bart Edmiston both are not on this trip. Edge to kick it off. Randy Wyatt and Mo Williams are deep. And here's Edge kickoff. It's high, not real long. Mo Williams at the 11. He's to the 15, the 20, between the hash marks, across the 25, and driven down at the 28-yard line. A tackle made by Dexter Daniels on Mo Williams, who brought it back about 17 yards on the kickoff. And so Kentucky will start at its own 28-yard line. There's also been a flag dropped on the kickoff. It could be Florida offsides. Well, so we'll wait and see exactly where Kentucky will start. They may have the Gators re-kick. Yeah, penalty on Florida, offsides, and I believe the Wildcats are going to make the Gators do it all over again. Let's go down and hear from Steve.
When the Gators take to the field defensively, one guy that has made the trip and has been cleared to play, number 44, James Bates Jr. He will help out at that inside linebacker spot behind Ed Robinson and Dexter Daniels. You know, he's been nursing that sore ankle. Well, in the middle of the week in the weight room, I saw one heck of an impression of Axl Rose while they were playing Welcome to the Jungle down in the weight room, and it was James Bates Jr. Then I knew he was okay to play. He had a good week of practice, and he's out there.
Axl Rose, Steve, I didn't know you were so well in tuned. I guess you could make it the fun and gun and roses now.
Hey, good one.
The fun and guns and roses. Huh?
I heard you.
All right, 5-yard penalty on Florida. They'll tee it up 30-yard line. Shane Edge, an encore performance. Let's hope he gets a little more leg into this ball. He's up the run up. Here's the ball, very deep. It's coming down to the goal line. He hit it 70 yards. Randy White picks it up the 5, to the 10, 15, and the Gators corral him and knock him down at the 20-yard line. Well, Kentucky lost about 8 yards on that exchange.
That's exactly right.
Lawrence Wright of the special teams made the stop. That's a calculated try, though, by Kentucky. You've got Edge, who never kicked off before, but he
blasted that. Yes, he blasted that ball, and Kentucky took it almost out of their end zone, and the coverage was better. The guys were further downfield, and ball sits right short of the 20-yard line.
All right, for Kentucky, the quarterback is Pookie Jones, 6'1", 196, junior from Murray, Kentucky. Cats open in the stack I. Damon Hood, Matt Riazzi, Randy Wyatt. The three backs behind Pookie. And here's Ellis Johnson blasting through, but only one problem. The ball wasn't snapped as the flags go down. We'll have to wait and see. Ellis was really ready to make some contact. He just did not have the ball centered. Penalty on the play as the official, Ron Gilbert, makes the call. 5-yard penalty against the Gators. An aggressive penalty, though, Lee, as Ellis Johnson had 6 tackles last week. He was credited with 5 big plays, including a sack. Terry Samuels, the tight end, former fullback, is in the game. As a tight end, Troy Hobbs is the receiver. The backs, Hood, Riazzi, and Wyatt in the stack I. Kentucky's first play, and they give the ball off to Damon Hood, the fullback. Powerful running. Hood has a Kentucky first down. He got 6 yards off right tackle to the 30-yard line. Ben Hanks, the bandit back, made the stop.
The stack I is just a 3-deep I. One guy behind another. At time, Kentucky going to the right. First guy through is the fullback. That's who took the ball between guard and tackle. Pushed it up the field for 5 yards for the first down.
Now Kentucky will bring 2 wide receivers left side. The wingback, Alfonso Browning, is lined up out there, and so is Troy Hobbs. Pookie's in the shotgun on 1st and 10 from the 30. Jones back to pass, firing the ball to Hobbs. He makes the catch, spins away from the tackler, gets upfield across the 45, and is down to the 46-yard line. A 16-yard reception. Eddie Lake finally made the stop as Jones hooked up with Hobbs, who Hobbs may be the lightest guy in the SEC at only 133 pounds.
But effective. Hobbs comes in here running a curl pattern. Pookie throws it, and actually Eddie Lake was around him trying to make a play and just missed. Just didn't get there. Hobbs caught the ball and turned it up the field.
Now Kentucky with 2 wide receivers wide right to the strong side, 2 wide to the left. Jones in the shotgun again, back to throw, fires it out wide right to Chapman. He makes the catch at the 50-yard line, and he's dropped there by Larry Kennedy, who makes the tackle on Mark Chapman, a senior who was listed as questionable for this game after suffering a foot injury last week. But you don't want to let this guy get too much room on you. He's got 4.47 speed in the 40.
Pookie in the shotgun that time, shot the ball out there in the right flat area between the hash mark and the number. Threw the ball a little bit high. Receiver made a nice catch. Gators were there to make the tackle.
Pookie's in the shotgun again. The only back next to him is the tailback, Randy Wyatt. 3 wide receivers wide left, 1 to the right. Gators coming hard on the blitz, and Jones will be down. Blitzed away in a man slide. Back at the 42-yard line, a loss of about 8 yards as the Gators came hard and made a great play. It was Gaines and Campbell leading the pursuit.
Gators coming hard, bringing some linebackers on the inside. Just good pressure, though, from the defensive line.
The ball is centered between the hash marks. Gators lead 3-0. 7 minutes remaining first quarter. Pookie Jones from the shotgun formation. There's the snap. Jones looks to throw on 3rd and long, fires over the middle. It is incomplete, in and out of the hands of a receiver at the 45-yard line. A flag has been dropped back in the backfield. Intended receiver was Tim Calvert, and the penalty is a holding penalty on Kentucky, but it'll bring up 4th down.
Excellent coverage that time. The Gators secondary, they were playing with 2 deep safeties. Holding on offense, that's right.
2 deep safeties.
2 deep safeties playing man-to-man coverage on the receivers underneath, and that time Lott trailing the wide receiver inside, made a hit, separated the receiver from the ball. Looked like Larry Kennedy came crossing over to make a little contact as well. That was just physical play by the secondary making that happen.
Nicky Nichols, last week, 6 punts, 32.8 average, will hit it at the 30, and Larry Kennedy back for Florida. Nichols hits the very high punt. Kennedy drifting over toward the near sideline, makes the catch at the 16. He's to the 20. He breaks a tackle at the 20 and goes across the 25, and a flag goes flying in just as Kennedy was trying to cut back. A bit of excitement, but we'll have to hold the excitement for the penalty, a clipping penalty against the Gators on the run back.
Well, just not a very good decision. I'm not sure which player, which Gator made that clip. He was hustling, trying to make something happen to give Larry Kennedy a chance to break out of there on that punt return, but clearly hit the Kentucky player in the back.
6 minutes, 39 seconds to play first quarter. Florida leading by a score of 3-0. We'll take a look on the replay monitor as Kennedy makes the run back, and
looked like it might have been Lawrence Wright that time.
A single digit it was.
It was effort.
We certainly struggled that night. Kentucky had a great defensive game plan. They stymied us a lot. We were able to run the ball just a little bit in spurts.
So the Gators are backed up now, and this crowd at Commonwealth Stadium gets excited as Florida will start its second drive at its own 9-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Gators. Randolph and Rhett in the I set. Florida has 2 wideouts wide to the left side. Dean takes the snap, rolls left, a quick hitch out there to Willie Jackson. Willie makes the catch out across the 15-yard line up to around the 19-yard line.
Terry Dean, little sprint out to the left. Blitz was coming. Wide guy Willie Jackson on the 2-receiver side, runs a hitch pattern. Kentucky secondary afraid to come up too tight because they know the Gators will go deep. Willie hooks it up at about 5 yards. The ball's delivered on time. Willie turned that big body up the field. Got 9 yards on that play.
2nd down and a yard to go for Florida. 19-yard line from the left hash. Randolph and Rhett split behind D, and the handoff to Rhett. He's got a first down off the left sideline. Eric Rhett with a first down, and he crosses the 23, maybe the 24-yard line. Deuce Williams, the right side linebacker, and the middle linebacker, Marty Moore, make the play. A couple of veterans for Kentucky defensively. Deuce Williams, a senior, 196-pound right side linebacker, and Marty Moore, senior at 238.
Terry Dean, and I can't say this is exactly accurate, but it feels like about 50% of the time Terry Dean is sprinting out versus dropping back in this ball game.
1st and 10 Florida, 23-yard line. Rhett goes in motion, far sideline, leaving Randolph the single back. Here's a rollout pass to the right by Dean, throwing an incomplete, intending for Harrison Houston, as again he sprinted to the right and overthrew Houston at about the 37-yard line. Marcus Jenkins, the strong safety, covering there for Kentucky.
Kentucky playing a 2-deep zone. 2 deep men, 5 short men underneath, playing about 10 to 15 yards deep. Houston was the inside receiver, running a corner pattern between the deep safety and the short corner. Terry Dean rolled out to the right, threw the ball, just overthrew it a little bit.
Dean is 6 of 9 tonight, 33 yards. It's 2nd and 10 for the Gators. Their own 23 from the left hash. Backs in an I set, Randolph and Rhett. Now Dean drops back, looks over the middle, now looks left, now scrambles right. He's rolling right, coming near sideline. Has the football, will run it across the 25 and get to the 30-yard line and scramble forward for about 7 yards. And that time, Lee, Terry was very visible, looking down the middle to the left and then rolling right and electing to keep it.
Really, nobody was open. In fairness to Terry Dean, he stayed in the pocket. He stayed there a long time, had excellent protection, but eventually it began to break down because nobody was getting open downfield. He sprinted to the right. Terry Dean runs fast. In case you don't know that, he runs fast and just decided to turn it up for a couple of yards when he couldn't find a receiver open.
Gators 3 of 5 tonight on 3rd downs, and it's 3rd down and 2 for the Gators now from the 31-yard line. Kentucky moving on the defensive line. A flag goes in, and here's the handoff to the Gator running back Eric Rhett off the right sideline up to the 37. Has a first down, but there's also a penalty on the play. Marty Moore, the middle linebacker, made the tackle. It's offsides against the Kentucky defense.
At the time, Eric Rhett took the ball out of the backfield, started off the right tackle. Gator offensive line caved in the Kentucky defense.
1st and 10 Gators, their own 38-yard line from the right hash. Backs in an I set, 2 wide left, a single wide right. Dean throwing over the middle, it's intercepted. Picked off deep by Willie Cannon to make that Marcus Jenkins, the strong safety, and Jenkins brings it back into Gator territory down to the 41-yard line. Marcus Jenkins from Long Beach, California, picked it off. I think it was intended for Jack Jackson. For Terry Dean, that is interception number 2 on the year. Kentucky starts in Florida territory. Best field possession tonight for Kentucky. 1st and 10, Gator 40-yard line. From the left hash, out of the stack I. Jones has the ball on the option. Now will keep it. A flag goes in on the play of penalty as Jones turns the right corner and gets down to around the 37-yard line before Larry Kennedy came up to make the stop after a short game.
The Gators were offsides, and it looks as if another flag has been thrown for a late hit on the Gators.
Don't forget that later in the broadcast, will be naming the Norwegian Cruise Line player of the game. Wow, the Gators offside and a personal foul as well. The whistle has not been kind to Florida in this first quarter. Last week, the Gators were penalized just 6 times. Already in tonight's game, the Gators have been penalized 4 times. This is a big one. Personal foul against the Gators. Kentucky gets a first down, and then they'll tack on even more yards. And the Wildcats will have 1st and 10 from the Gator 20-yard line. Pookie Jones under center. Looks over the Gator defense. 4 down linemen digging in. Jones on the option, rolls to the right, takes the football, and he's brought down on a beautiful tackle by Dexter Daniels with help from Larry Kennedy. And around the 15-yard line, a gain of about 5 yards as they bring down Pookie Jones.
Trying to run the option out of that stack guy, going to the right, faking the ball to the fullback. Pookie Jones takes the ball down the line. Gator defense doing a good job up front of stretching that out. Dexter Daniel comes from that inside linebacker position to make the hit. Larry Kennedy comes from his cornerback position to put him down.
Jones had 311 yards of total offense last week against Kent. Raymond McLaren is in the ball game now at wingback in the stack I for Kentucky, with Randy Wyatt remaining the tailback as he dots the stack I. And there's the handoff to McLaren, the wingback running straight ahead. He's got a first down, but a flag has also been dropped as Raymond McLaren found running room off the right side and gets down to around the 5-yard line. But again, there is a penalty, and it's going to be brought back on a holding penalty against Kentucky.
Yeah, that was a little trap-looking play going up the middle from Kentucky, and very likely the reason it worked so well is because there was holding.
Kentucky's 309 yards rushing last week against Kent was the best effort in 3 years in the Bill Curry era. 3.5 minutes to play first quarter. Gators leading 3-0 on a 31-yard Judd Davis field goal.
Interesting to note that Kentucky's offense lines up about 1.5 yards from the ball so that they don't have very far to go, saving their energy for later in the game. They're lined up very close to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 14 for Kentucky from the Gator 24. Jones will operate from the gun. 2 wideouts left, 2 wide to the right. Jones dropped back, looks to throw, rolls right, has the football at the 20-yard line, hit and shoved out of bounds at the far sideline, 20-yard line. It was big, nasty William Gaines, the 284-pound defensive tackle that was in pursuit of Jones.
Looked like the Gators had Pookie for a sack that time, and he just bailed out of there very quickly. As you described, Nasty Gaines just yanked him down by the nape of his neck, right on his shoulder pads, right behind his neck, and just snatched him to the ground.
3rd down 11 for the Wildcats from the 21-yard line. 3rd and 11 from the shotgun. Jones takes the snap, drops to throw, and fires the ball over the middle. It is going to be caught by Tim Calvert. A great catch at the 9-yard line, and he's got a Kentucky first down. And Lee, he was well defensed.
He was. That's just an athletic play by the tight end. Pookie Jones threw that ball over the middle, right over the right hash mark, low and hard. Gator defense was in good position. Tight end just made a great diving catch for the low ball.
Kentucky has 1st and goal from the Gator 8-yard line. Leon Smith comes wide to the left. The backs in the stack I behind Jones, who's under center. Looks over the Florida defense. He calls for the ball. Takes the snap. On the option, Jones pitches it back to Wyatt. Wyatt can't turn the corner because Larry Kennedy came up and played the run and shoved him out of bounds at around the 5-yard line. They got only about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Nice tackle by Larry Kennedy coming up from his cornerback position. Kentucky running the option to the right. Pitched the ball. Ball was going out wide. Larry Kennedy came up from his cornerback position to make the tackle and stop the Wildcats for just a couple of yards.
Leon Smith at wide receiver goes off, and the wingback Alfonso Browning comes in. Browning's a big play guy, 6'3", 200 pounds, senior, junior college transfer a couple of years ago. He had a 56-yard touchdown play last week against Kent. He lines up as a receiver as Jones will play from the shotgun. 2nd and goal. The ball at the 4-yard line. Jones takes the snap, throws over the middle. It is going to be caught for a touchdown by Alfonso Browning, who came in and made the play, and Kentucky leads 6-3.
Just like a post pattern from right to left. Cookie Jones drilled that ball in there, but again, Larry Kennedy was all over the guy. On that drive, there were 2 or 3 plays by the Kentucky receivers where the Gator defenders were right there, swatting at the ball, right on their back. Just truthfully great catches.
In to add the PAT, Juha Leonoff out of a Matt Riazzi hold. Leonoff from Finland. Riazzi sets it down, and Juha Leonoff hits it up and good. And with 59 seconds to play in the first quarter, time is out in the Commonwealth with the score. Kentucky 7, Gators 3. Dan Thompson will tee it up at the 35-yard line for Kentucky with Harrison Houston and Jack Jackson deep at the goal line. Here comes the kick by Thompson. He's into the football. Another long kick coming down a yard deep. Harrison Houston will bring it out to the 10, 15, and hit and dropped it around the 17-yard line. Randy Wyatt on the special teams has been injured on this kick return, and while they attend to him, we'll pause for a timeout. Eric Rett takes the handoff from Terry Dean on the first play and runs forward to around the 22-yard line. Tackle made by Marty Moore. Eric Rett gets the carry for the Gators. That last Kentucky scoring drive was 6 plays, 40 yards. Time of possession, 3:49. Kentucky leading 7-3. Rett gained 4. Florida has 2nd and 6 from the 22-yard line. 22 seconds to play in the first quarter. Dean dropping back again, has the football, and he will go down. He's blitzed away. Did he hand it off to Rett? He did give it to Rett, and Kentucky was right there to make the tackle.
Tried a little tricky draw play. That time it was a drop back, fake the draw, go behind the back, and then try and hand it back around to the back in his stomach. Ball got dropped on the ground.
And that's the final play of the first quarter. So Kentucky has some momentum as the Wildcats have a 7-3 lead. Along with Lee McGriff and Steve Babick, I'm Mick Hubert here at Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington. We go to the second quarter with Kentucky leading by a score of 7-3. In the first quarter, Gators with 98 yards, Kentucky 47. First downs, Florida 6, Kentucky 3. Gators will have 3rd and 11 from their own 17-yard line. Rett in a one-back set. They've got 4 wide receivers for Terry Dean. 3rd down, 11. Dean takes the snap, drops back 7 yards, now sprints, rolls left, still looks to throw, fires down the sideline. It's caught. Jack Jackson, first down, near sideline, 41-yard line, 24-yard gain. As Stephen Hall, the free safety, came up, made the stop on the Gators. Jack Jackson, who last week caught 5 passes.
Beautiful. Terry Dean rolled to his left, avoided the pressure, got outside, and Florida had what's called a flood route. There was a guy that pushed the defense deep, a guy that went short, and a third-tier guy right in the middle, which was Jack Jackson, finding that hole near the boundary. Terry Dean threw him a big strike for the first down.
Jackson has caught 6 passes now for the season. Gators 1st and 10, 40-yard line. Dean again to throw, fires the ball down the left sideline. It is going to be incomplete. As Jack Jackson was the intended receiver, he was covered by Adrian Sherwood, the cornerback on that side of the field, the near sideline.
Just a go pattern that time by Jack Jackson, going straight down the left boundary. Got bumped a little bit by the cornerback, who had help behind him deep with the safety. And Terry Dean threw it up just a little bit off the mark. And of course, Jack Jackson, as I was trying to describe, got a little bit disrupted on his route to be able to get to the ball.
Gators have 2nd and 10 now from their own 40. Randolph and Rett line up in the I set. Willie Jackson wide to the left. Houston and Doring out wide right. Kentucky leads 7-3. There's the snap to Dean. And Dean dropping to throw, fires the corner out wide right and overthrows Harrison Houston, who was covered by Marcus Jenkins. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down play.
Trying to hit Houston on the corner pattern. This is This is a kind of feast or famine deal that the Gators are working. Kentucky is showing the blitz. Terry Dean sees it, and when he does, he's got some people running deep routes, particularly to the corner, that he's trying to hit on big plays. Of course, if he does, then it's just that, a big play. If not, come away with nothing.
Gators are 5 of 7 on third downs. Dean tonight is 7 of 12 for 57 yards. Big third down. 10 yards needed. Gators have it their own 40 from the left hash. Dean dropping back will run. 45 up to midfield, has a first down into Kentucky territory. He runs out of bounds at the Wildcat 41-yard line. Dean makes it happen with a 19-yard scamper.
Wow, that's one of the real abilities of Terry Dean right there. Drops back. Kentucky sells out hard as they can to get up the field to get to the quarterback. The secondary sags deep to get underneath the receivers. Terry Dean puts the ball under his arm, runs for the first down, picks up a little block downfield by Jack Jackson trying to help out. 19-yard run for a first down.
Willie Jackson left, Harrison Houston, Chris Doering, the pair on the right. Randolph and Rhett in the eye set. Here's the draw to Rhett, running straight ahead, breaks a tackle at the 40 and then moves forward to around the 36-yard line. Deuce Williams, the right linebacker, made the stop. Eric Rhett, 8 carries tonight and 44 yards. Let's hear from Steve.
You know, Mick, one thing about moving this game up to September, these Kentucky fans have had a lot to cheer about. This has been a very boisterous crowd. And think about it, when we play them in November, a lot of times they're looking at a losing season. They want to know they're very much into this game.
Third down and 4 for the Gators at the Kentucky 35-yard line. Backs are split behind Dean, who rolls right under backside pressure, eludes one tackler, tries to turn the corner, and will go down and around the 34-yard line. He's short of a first down. He ran away from middle linebacker Marty Moore, but couldn't elude the other linebacker, David Snarden, a sophomore from Louisville, who was there to make the tackle on Dean.
Full sprint to the right with Terry Dean, getting on the corner, got a short pattern by the outside guy, a corner pattern by Harrison Houston, who's the inside receiver on the 2-receiver side. Terry Dean didn't feel comfortable with anybody being open, tucked the ball under his arm and tried to get what he could.
Gators have third down, 3 yards to go. 2 wide receivers left, 2 wide right, 1 back behind Dean, dropping back to throw. Kentucky with a blitz, and they'll get him, and they'll knock him down at the 40-yard line, a loss of about 5 yards or so, as Robert Stenson came in from his defensive tackle, and Deuce Williams also blitzed in from the outside linebacker spot.
A lot of pressure from Kentucky, and I suppose it's probably a good idea from the Kentucky standpoint in that you've got a relatively inexperienced quarterback. Terry Dean set his feet, really didn't have time to make anything happen that play.
Antonio Farrell, a backup quarterback, back in single punt safety. Last week, Shane Edge had 3 punts, an average of 41 yards with a long kick of 53. He'll hit it near midfield. 12:25 to play second quarter. Kentucky leads 7-3, and we have a penalty as the snap was made to Edge, who went ahead and kicked it anyway. Edge will try and hit it somewhere between the 10 and the goal line. High kick coming down, and it'll go into the end zone for a touchback and back through the end line, and Kentucky will start at the 20-yard line. That was a 44-yard kick. 12:09 to play, first half. Time is out with the score. Kentucky 7, Florida 3.
Chris Doering was my roommate when we traveled, and then when we stayed the night before the game at the hotel. And I noticed that every morning he'd always be listening to his music, and one day I asked him, "What song are you listening to?" And it was an old classical song by Pachelbel, Canon in D. And I love that song. They played at weddings a lot, so we actually started taking turns listening to that song. It became one of our rituals. But before each game, we'd get there right before we left to the bus. We'd each listen to the song. We'd get together, say a little prayer, and go play football.
First and 10, Kentucky 20-yard line out of the stack eye. They give the ball off to the wingback, Matt Riazzi, running off the right side. Gets to around the 27-yard line. Riazzi, not real big in stature, but a veteran on this team. He's 5'7", 180, a senior from Kettering, Ohio. His first carry of the year, and it's an 8-yard gain.
Right through the middle that time, little trap play, just hitting between the 2 guards. I guess that would make that over the center, wouldn't it?
It would indeed.
He picked up 8 yards.
Kentucky leads 7-3, 11:35 to play second quarter. 2nd and 2 for Kentucky from their own 28-yard line from the right hash. Backs in a stack eye. Now the wingback Riazzi in motion left side. Here's a toss to Mo Williams. And oh, he's hit and dropped beautifully by the Gators' Anthone Lott, who came up from the cornerback position and made the key hit on Mo Williams, who could not turn the left corner.
Lott came up, he recognized the option, and he came up in a hurry, made a nice clean tackle low right around Williams' knees, and he went down in a heap.
Anthone Lott from Raines High School in Jacksonville, 5'9", 189, a redshirt freshman. 10:45 to go, second quarter. Jones from the shotgun takes the snap, throws the ball, it's tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it will fall incomplete. As the Gators got the play batted down by Big Mac, Henry McMillan, who got his hand up and knocked it down, and now it's 4th down for Kentucky.
Very good play that time. Gators coming in, Pookie raises his arm to throw, got their hands up, batted the ball away.
Nicky Nichols in the punt again for Kentucky. He will hit it at his own 15-yard line, and Larry Kennedy, who last week returned 3 punts for an average of 20 yards, is back. He'll field it somewhere around his own 30-yard line into a slight wind. Low kick, Gators not coming. Nichols gets it off on a short kick. It'll hit at the 44, take a Kentucky roll, bounce inside the 40-yard line, and go out of bounds on the far sideline.
Uh-oh. Danny Werfel's going in at quarterback, Mick.
Danny Werfel will make an appearance here to direct the Florida offense. Werfel has the backs in the eye. Randolph and Rhett, 2 wide receivers wide left. Gives the ball off to Rhett. A hole opens, but he's been... Right, throws the ball down the field. I'm sorry, he throws it down the middle, and it's picked off. Oh, my. Marcus Jenkins picked it off. Rhett sold the fake beautifully, and Werfel's first pass lead was misdirected, and Marcus Jenkins, playing the center field, picked it off. And Kentucky has its second interception, and this time they've got it at the Gator 49-yard line. That's twice their interceptions have given them great field position.
And that time that ball was tipped by a Gator receiver coming across the middle. Safety broke on it in front of Willie Jackson to pick it off.
Marcus Jenkins' second interception tonight. Darrell Frazier had to go down there and make the tackle on him, and so Kentucky starts at midfield, following the Gators' second turnover tonight. They turned the first Florida mistake into a touchdown drive. Pookie Jones in the stack eye runs the option, comes to the right to the near sideline, can't turn the corner, and is hit hard and hit high by Lawrence Wright and tackled at the 46-yard line after a gain of about 3 yards.
Tell you, the way that play develops, it looks like Pookie Jones may get a big gainer, but those secondary people come in and close hard, and their tackling right now is very, very good.
9:55 to play, second quarter. Kentucky leads 7-3. When the Gators were last here in 1990, Kentucky led in that ball game 2-0, and then again 9-7 before the Gators righted themselves and won going away 47-15 to stake the best record in the SEC. Here's Kentucky again as Jones drops back, and he'll go down. He's blitzed away and hit hard by Ellis Johnson, who will sack him back at the 49-yard line in Gator territory. A loss of about 6 yards on the play, as Ellis Johnson, who had a sack last week and 5 big plays, just made a big play there when the Gator defense needed one.
Ellis Johnson coming in hard from his tackle position, making that play, and Dexter Daniels right behind him to help him clean it up.
9:05 to play, second quarter. Kentucky leads 7-3. Troy Hobbs comes wide right. Mark Chapman goes wide left. Pookie's in the shotgun. The only back near him is Damon Hood. They have 3 wide receivers wide to the right. Jones takes the snap, looks to throw, and fires. Incomplete. A flag goes on the play. It'll be pass interference against Larry Kennedy, who was guarding Troy Hobbs at the 40-yard line.
Gee, I don't know about that one. Larry Kennedy covered Hobbs tightly. Hobbs slipped down to the ground. It was a low pass. Kennedy then appeared to scramble after the ball himself, and it seemed that when the official turned, he wanted to say that Larry Kennedy knocked him down. It didn't appear that way to me.
Another Kentucky first down, and the penalties have also hurt the Gators tonight. Unofficially, the Gators 7 penalties for 60 yards. That's about what they had all of last week. They had 6 penalties last week for 40 yards. First and 10 Kentucky at the Gator 41-yard line. Sideline right, open field to the left. Backs in the stack eye, Hood, Riazzi, and Wyatt with a wide receiver out flex to the left. And Jones on the option, rolls right now, throws the football, and it's going to be picked off, stolen by Lawrence right at the 30, 35. He misses the tackler there and gets to the 38-yard line as Lawrence White picks it off, his first career interception, and the Gators get it right back, and now 2 flags have been thrown on the far sideline and the run back.
Well, Lawrence Wright playing center field, broke on that ball. Pookie Jones trying to throw a little sort of a post pattern down the middle of the field. Wright broke on the ball, intercepted it. Now they're going to call a penalty on it, I think, for taunting the Kentucky bench.
That's the new rule, which they're really watching closely, especially in SEC games. It's a little bit of showmanship, perhaps. Showboating, maybe, is correct. And it's going to cost the Gators after the run back. And now, Terry Dean has returned at quarterback after Werfel's one pass was picked off. So Dean is back for his second stint tonight. 8:37 to go, second quarter. The Gators have yet to get untracked after a beautiful opening drive, which they got only a field goal out. Now they'll try and get this drive started at their own 23. Harrison Houston comes in motion to the near sideline. A one-back set. They hand it off to Rhett. Eric hipping and ripping crosses the 30. Gets to around the 31-yard line. It looks like he's gained about 8 yards.
Gators lining up with 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, 1 back being Eric Rhett. That time Rhett just went off left tackle, belly play, picked up a good gainer. I'm not going to be surprised to see the Gators come straight at Kentucky on this drive, running the football, seeing if they can get this thing stuffed down Kentucky's throat.
2 tight ends for the Gators. Rhett in a one-back set. Single receivers left and right. Dean dropping back, Kentucky coming hard. He's throwing the ball down the field, and it's overthrown incomplete. He tried to hit Harrison Houston, running down the right sideline.
Houston had his man beat by 4 or 5 yards. Terry Dean just couldn't get there. Truthfully, the Gators have had a few opportunities early in this game to hit some big plays, and the throws just haven't gotten there on the deeper balls.
Harrison Houston had a career night against Kentucky last year. 7 catches, 119 yards, a pair of touchdowns. The Gators are 6 of 9 on third downs tonight. Randolph and Rhett in the eye set. It's 3rd and 2 from the 31-yard line. Kentucky 4 down linemen digging in. Dean takes the snap, hands it off to Rhett off the left sideline. He is stopped at around the 33. That's the line to make for a first down. We'll have to wait and see where they spot it, as Daryl Kahn made the tackle. He's the left linebacker.
Spot will be critical. Looks like the nose of the ball made it.
And they're going to bring the sticks out, I think, again. And they'll measure. Terry Dean tonight in the passing department. Dean is 7 of 13 unofficially for 57 yards. It'll be 4th down, 2 inches to go for the Gators. 33-yard line as the Gators break the huddle, and they're going for it on 4th and inches. All right, a one-back set. 2 tight ends, Keller and Dean. Quarterback, Terry Dean. Takes the snap, dives forward, he's hit. First time continues. Second effort may have got it. First down, it looks like, as Dean was met immediately upon taking the snap, but then bounced off a tackler, and I think that continual effort gave the Gators a first down.
Wow.
Kentucky leads on the scoreboard 7-3, but the Gators have picked up 3 times the number of yards. Unofficially, Florida has 150 yards of offense tonight. Kentucky has only 50. But right now, the Gators trailing by 4. 2 Florida quarterbacks have thrown 2 interceptions. Kentucky turned 1 INT into a score after a drive. Eric Rhett in the one-back set. 1st and 10, 34-yard line. 2 wide left and a single wide to the right. Dean dropping back, hands it all off to Rhett, straight ahead. Eric's got first down, great running room across the 40, up across the 45 and down to the 49-yard line. That's a 15-yard gallop, and the Gators right now have rushed for nearly 110 yards against Kentucky tonight.
Draw play really has given Kentucky problems. Terry Dean just drops back, hands the ball to Rhett, going straight up the middle. The blocking's excellent. Terry Dean has added a fake to this draw play where he stands up and pumps his arm. Seems to freeze the linebackers momentarily. And Rhett's running for big yards, straight up the middle.
Willie Jackson, Harrison Houston to the left. Rhett in a one-back set. Dean throwing it out to the left. He's got his receiver. It's caught there by Willie Jackson. He spins upfield inside the 40-yard line where he's been pushed out of bounds at around the 38. That's close to another Gator first down as Eric Wright, a redshirt freshman linebacker from Massillon, Ohio, made the stop there.
In the secondary, Kentucky is playing primarily a two-deep zone with a zone, 5 people underneath. However, the cornerbacks that normally squat down around 10 to 12 yards and play tough are sagging. So they're daring the Gators to throw that little ball to the outside that they just threw to Willie Jackson to pick up that first down.
First and 10 Gators, the Kentucky 39. And there's the handoff to Rhett off the right side, turns the corner, gets upfield, runs hard, and is dropped at the 30-yard line. 9 more yards for Eric Rhett as Deuce Williams made the tackle there on Rhett.
Very nice run by Eric Rhett. It was a draw play. Rhett started up the middle. Kentucky had it all jammed up. He bounced to the outside and then made a quick move straight up the field to pick up 9 yards. Eric Rhett made a lot of that happen on his own.
Eric Rhett, 11 carries and 75 yards unofficially in this game. Second down and 1 for the Gators from their 30-yard line, the 30-yard line of Kentucky. From the right hash. One back set, Eric Rhett. Dean dropping back, looking to throw. Over the middle, he's got Harrison Houston at the 11-yard line, and he's hit and dropped there. Gators with a first down on a 19-yard pass from Dean to Houston as the Gators drive down to the 10-yard line.
Nice route, nice throw. Wasn't a pretty ball, but it sure was on the money that time. Dean just dropped back. Houston was the inside receiver to the left, and he ran straight down the field and split the hash marks. He was between the two safeties and beyond the linebackers, wide open. Terry Dean let him have it.
Gators have first down and 10 just across the 10-yard line. Rhett in a one-back set. 2 wide receivers out wide to the right, 1 to the left. There's the handoff to Rhett running straight in the middle, and he'll be hit and dropped at the line of scrimmage. And now it'll be Chris Doring coming in the game as an extra wide receiver for the Gators. He goes wide to the right along with Harrison Houston. The Jacksons are wide to the left. Second down, 9, just outside the 9-yard line. Rhett in the one-back set. Dean dropping back, looking, now steps up. He'll run forward, get a couple of yards, and will be tackled from behind down and around the Kentucky 7-yard line. Caught from behind by the outside linebacker, Zane Bean.
That time, Kentucky playing a zone, even though the ball's inside the 10-yard line, actually around the 7 or 8. Kentucky remained in its 2-deep zone, 5-man short area. When you're this close to the goal line, though, the linebackers do not have to drop very deep. So for Terry Dean to have much running room, it's tough.
All right, the Gators have 3rd and goal just across the 7-yard line. Dean takes the snap, a short drop, looking and throwing, and it's going to be caught at the 1-yard line. And Kentucky quickly wraps up the receiver at the 1-yard line as Jack Jackson hauled it in. 3.5 minutes to play here in the second quarter.
That was a throw and a catch that time. Jack Jackson was the outside receiver on a 2-receiver side. The inside receiver took the linebacker or strong safety inside. Jack Jackson came in on a little post, and Terry Dean really drilled that ball. And Jack Jackson did a nice job of protecting it with his body. And that ball is sitting right down inside the 1-yard line. They're measuring for a first down.
Steve, what do you got down there?
You know what, guys, I was going to say for sure that it was a first down because looking across the field where the marker was, the ball was a good ball length ahead. They dragged the sticks across, and we lost a couple inches somewhere. It is short of a first down. A big decision here. Will the Gators go for it? I tell you.
There ain't no decision, Steve. They went for it back there at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, if he punts now.
I don't think we're going for 3 here, but I know what you're saying. We probably should have had first and goal, but now we got 4th and inches as Keller and Dean are in at double tight end. 4th down and inches to go for a touchdown. Randolph and Rhett in an offset eye behind Dean. Boy, that Kentucky defense digs in tightly. Dean is going to call for another timeout. He didn't like what he saw, I guess. That's the second timeout in the last couple of moments in the 3rd Florida timeout of the first half. Backs in an offset eye. 4th and inches for the touchdown. Dean at quarterback. Calls for the ball, dives over the top. He's in! Touchdown, Florida!
Mick has a great call by Coach Spurrier. I've got the advantage of a monitor here, and I had a close shot to the line. Point being, the center was not covered. They only had an inch to go. The center was uncovered, and there was nobody directly in the gap between the guard and the center. So it was a good, soft place to go, straight ahead. Nobody home. The linebacker was too deep to get there, and as were the tackles. So that was a good decision by the coaching staff to take advantage of that.
Shane Edge will hold. Judd Davis has hit 16 consecutive point-after attempts. The Gators lead 9-7 pending this Judd Davis PAT. 3:21 to go in the first half. There's the set down, a bad snap. Edge will have to roll to his right. He's still scrambling, rolling back, drops the football. He's way back at the 25-yard line. Now he throws it up for grabs down toward the end zone, and it's going to fall incomplete. Well, he did not get the snap down right, couldn't recover, and so it's no points on the PAT try. We'll take a break. 3:21 left. Back to talk about it in a moment with the timeout to score. Florida 9, Kentucky 7. Well, Shane Edge, the holder, mishandled the snap, and now he'll have to shake it off because he's the kickoff man, and he'll have to get his leg into this ball and hopefully get a touchback here. The Gators have taken a 9-7 lead. 3:21 to go in the second quarter. Randy Wyatt and Mo Williams are deep. Wyatt near side and Williams far side. Very good kick by Edge. Wyatt will field it on the fly, but 7 yards deep. Touchback, bringing out to the 20.
Shane Edge has blasted the ball a couple times a day, and that was certainly no exception. That was deep into the end zone, back towards the back part of the end zone.
Lee, that was a 77-yard drive in 12 plays by the Gators. 5:16 the time of possession. 1st and 10, Kentucky 20-yard line. Jones behind center. Backs in a stack eye. Jones on the option, rolls right, pitches it back to Mo Williams down the right sideline, across the 30, and across the 35, up to around the 39-yard line. Hey, that's about a 19-yard run by the true freshman from Columbus, Georgia, who was a high school All-American. Last year gained nearly 2,000 yards while scoring 17 touchdowns. And Lee was highly recruited throughout the SEC, including Florida, but Kentucky won the recruiting battle.
That was the option play, and the Gators got tied up with Pookie, and he kicked it out to Mo Williams, who had lots of room to run, and he turned it on, picked up a big gainer.
Michael Gilmore on the stop. 1st and 10, 40-yard line. They hand the ball off to the wingback, Alfonso Browning, and he's up the middle for maybe a yard, if that. Browning, the big wingback, tackled by Ed Robinson, the co-captain, and Dexter Daniels, who had a career-high 8 tackles last week, a game in which Steve Spurrier said was by far the best game for Dexter Daniels as a Gator. David Barnard also in there for Florida. 2nd and 10, 40-yard line. And again, they hand the ball off, and this time it's the fullback, Damon Hood, off the right side for a couple of yards. Hood was an outstanding high schooler. He was named the Mr. Football in the state of Kentucky a couple of years ago. As Kevin Carter was there to make the stop, they give him about 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and along 5 for Kentucky. The Wildcats 2 of 4 on 3rd downs. Kentucky has 5 first downs in this game. 2 minutes, 5 seconds to play first half. Gators need to make a stop. 3rd and 5 from the 45. Out of the shotgun, Jones throwing. It is incomplete. Oh, what a beautiful defensive coverage by the Gators that time. As the ball is dropped, Ben Hanks was right there. The crowd wanted a pass interference, but no flag came in as Corey Reeves, the tight end, he had a shadow right on his back.
Tight end just came straight over the middle. Ben Hanks right on his back, stripped the ball away. Nice play. But the truth is, there's been several catches by the Kentucky players in that same situation. That time he didn't catch it.
Nichols has punted twice tonight for an average of 37 yards. He'll hit this ball around his own 35, and Larry Kennedy is back at the 20. Here come the Gators. They can't block it. Come close and miss. Very high kick. Kennedy signals for a fair catch at the 17-yard line. 1:49 to play in the second quarter. First quarter score tonight in the SEC in Knoxville. It's Tennessee 7, Georgia nothing. LSU beat Mississippi State 18-16. All right, Eric Rett is in the one-back set behind the quarterback, Terry Dean. Greg Keller and Sean Nunn are the Gator tight ends, a double tight end alignment. The handoff to Rett, coming to the near sideline, across the 20. Eric's across the 25, still running strong, and finally dropped 26-yard line. He's got 9 more yards before David Snarden made the tackle, the left linebacker out of Louisville, who is 229 pounds.
Sweep-looking play to the left. Good blocking. Rett bounced outside, found running room. Gators have no timeouts. There's 1:24 on the clock. Second and about a yard.
Eric Rett unofficially 13 carries and 85 yards in this first half. 2nd and 1. And there's the handoff to Rett's got a first down, running straight ahead, crosses the 30, out to around the 31-yard line before Kentucky makes the stop as the clock is down to the 1:09 mark here in the second quarter, with Florida leading 9-7. Gators came into this game about a 2-touchdown favorite. Tackle there made by Howard Carter, a 245-pound defensive end from Dodge City, Kansas, and a former JC'er. Dean rolling right, throwing the quick out here to Willie Jackson, who makes the catch at the 31, trying to skip his way upfield, is pushed out of bounds on the far sideline, shoved out around the 32 by the strong safety Marcus Jenkins. The attendance tonight has been announced already here. It's the 6th largest crowd in Commonwealth Stadium history, 58,175, 58,175 here in the ballpark tonight. Less than a minute to play here in the second quarter. Gators lead 9-7. No gain on that completed pass from Dean to Willie Jackson. Florida has 2nd and 10, 31-yard line. Rett in the one-back set. Wide outs left and right. A long cadence by Dean. Terry dropping to throw, looking over the middle, still has the football, steps up and now runs it across the 30. He's to the 35, trying to come to the near sideline, upfield across the 40, shoved out of bounds. He'll stop the clock as he goes out at the 47-yard line, and will stop the clock with 46 seconds to play.
He got a bunch of yards. Willie Jackson peeled back from his receiver position to give Terry Dean a little block to line to pick up probably another 8 yards or thereabouts. And then Dean had the sense to get on out of bounds.
Lee, this is a key opportunity in the development of Terry Dean, a 2-minute offense here, no timeouts.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And Coach Spurrier's letting him work. They ran the ball a couple times to get out of the hole, got the first down with more than a minute to go, and here they go. They've got field position. They're trying to get it down the field.
4 wide receivers for the Gators, twins left, twins right. Rett in the one-back set, 1st and 10 at the Florida 46. Sideline pass left, caught by Jack Jackson at midfield. Maybe got inside to the Kentucky 49. As the clock will continue to run, he did not get out of bounds. Don Robinson, the cornerback from Richmond, Virginia, a 3-year starter, made the hit on Jack Jackson.
Clock winding down to 26, 25, 24 seconds.
Gators got 5, 2nd and 5 from the Wildcat 49-yard line. Dean takes his time as he takes the snap, now throws it out wide to the right. Willie Jackson makes the catch, trying to get outside as he's pushed at the 42-yard line by Adrian Sherwood, the cornerback on the left side. He's out of bounds to stop the clock with 10 seconds.
Just a hitch pattern right by the first down marker. Looked like Willie might have dropped it, but I don't believe that's going to be the case. I think he got a first down.
Yes, he did get the first down. Willie Jackson tonight has caught 5 passes already. You know, Willie has caught 2 or more now in 25 consecutive games. Willie Jackson, with 125 catches, has just moved ahead of Dwayne Dixon into 3rd place on the Gator all-time receiving list.
It's a good time to be a wide receiver at the University of Florida.
1st and 10, 43-yard line. Dean rolling left. Final seconds of the half, still rolling left, wanting to throw, and now will airmail it out of bounds, stop the clock with 4 seconds left. Gators leading 9-7. Lee, what was that sense of emotion in your voice talking about being a wide receiver in this era?
It's you don't have to even be on the field full time to catch a whole lot of balls. That ball gets moved all over the field, and if you're one of the 3, 4, or 5 best receivers on this team, you're going to touch the ball lots, and it's an exciting time to be on offense, period, for anybody in the backfield, tight end or wide receiver.
Jack Jackson, Chris Doering, Willie Jackson, all 3 wide to the left. Final play first half, perhaps. 2nd and 10. Dean rolling left, looking, throwing, home run ball deep down the field toward the end zone. It'll be intercepted picked off, and that'll be the final play of the first half. LaMarcus Jenkins has picked it off. That would be his third interception as the Gators had Chris Doering and Jack Jackson beat. Let's go down to the field and hear from Steve.
Okay, thanks, Mick. The Gators with the 9-7 lead. Coach, a good offensive drive there to take the lead.
Well, we're in for a real ball game here tonight. Kentucky's pretty good, and we're struggling a little bit, but heck, I'm happy to be ahead right now. We got 30 big minutes left.
Okay, Coach, thanks very much. As Coach said, a big game here, and he knows that the Cats came to play. Again, that last offensive drive prior to this last set took the Gators up by a score of 9-7. We'll go back upstairs to Mick.
That's the halftime score. The Gators leading 9-7. And Lee, your reaction to what we've seen here tonight in this first half?
Well, I think if you had to paint a big picture, you'd just say it wasn't very pretty. The defense has been pretty good. The offense has been erratic and has had too many turnovers, 3 interceptions, but the fact is we're up by 9-7.
Yeah, that's the key, I think, that Coach Spurrier will harp on most is the Gators' turnovers. You know, they won last week -2 in that margin, and now they're already down a couple here. And last year, of course, posting the 9-4 record, somehow the Gators went -12 in turnover margin. Not a good trend, but so far the Gators are leading by a pair. Halftime score tonight from the Commonwealth. Florida 9, Kentucky 7. Second down 6 for the Cats, their own 29-yard line. Make that second down and a yard to go. 2nd and 1 for Kentucky, 29-yard line from the right hash. Backs in the stack eye. And this is Jones handing it off to Riazzi, the wingback off the right side. And he's got the first down. He's a 5'7 wingback from Kettering, Ohio. Kentucky with a first down, and that's the 7th first down of the game for the Wildcats. Tight end on the right is Terry Samuels. He's a former fullback. They've got a wide receiver, Tim Calvert, out wide to the left. And again, it's Hood, Riazzi, and Williams in the stack eye. The handoff to Williams off the left side. Big hole opens. He busts into the secondary. He's to the 50. He's to the 40. Larry Kelly in pursuit. Can't tackle him. He's inside the 20. He's going to score. Touchdown for Kentucky on a 70-yard run by Mo Williams.
Fake to the first back through the middle. Mo Williams counters that. The second back through just ripped it off the left side. Passed it for the touchdown. Gators couldn't catch him.
Mo Williams, a true freshman from Columbus, Georgia, who rushed 13 times for 63 yards against Kent, has just taken it 70 yards for a touchdown against the Gators. And Kentucky has regained a 13-9 lead. Juha Leonoff will add the PAT out of a Matt Riazzi hold. There's the snap. Riazzi gets it down. Leonoff picks it up. It's good. And Commonwealth Stadium has erupted here early in the third quarter thanks to an electrifying 70-yard run by Mo Williams with 13:16 to go third quarter. Timeout with the score. Kentucky 14, the Gators 9. Kentucky's drive, 80 yards in 3 plays, 1:44 the time of the drive. It's 14-9 Kentucky. Van Thompson has it teed up at the north 35-yard line. His right leg is into the football, a high kick coming down to Jack Jackson to the goal line. Jackson upfield between the hash marks, the 10, the 20, the 25, the 30, breaks up across the 35 and dives over the 40-yard line on a beautiful kickoff return by Moss Point, Mississippi native Jack Jackson. Lehman Boyd finally made the stop. And Lee, as I look down to the field, there are no flags down.
No, there's not. And the Gator kick return team did a nice job of creating a seam right down the right hash mark. And Jackson took that ball just on the dead run, never broke stride, took it straight up that right hash for a big gainer to put the ball on the 40-plus yard line, 42.
41-yard return for Jack Jackson. 1st and 10 from the 41. Dean dropping the throw, fires over the middle, has Eric Brett, breaks a tackle the 45, has a first down into Kentucky territory before he's finally been caught by Marty Moore, the middle linebacker, at the Wildcat 49-yard line. Cornerback Don Robinson also on the play as Dean hits his tailback over the middle. Now it's just short of a first down by the nose of the football. So it'll be 2nd and an inch to go. 12:46 to play, third quarter. On an exciting night here in the Commonwealth, Kentucky leads Florida 14-9. Randolph and Rhett split behind Terry Dean. 2nd and inches. Dean calls for the ball, hands it off to Rhett off the left sideline, has a first down, turns the corner, gets inside the 45, extends his right arm for a stiff arm and pushes his way upfield to the 37-yard line. He scampers for about a dozen yards before Marcus Jenkins, the strong safety, a senior from Long Beach, California, made the stop, pushed him out of bounds.
Nice play. Nice play by the offense. Good blocking up front. Good run by Eric Rhett. The Gators lined up in a split back. Eric Rhett being the back on the right side. They handed the sweep to him going around the left end. Had lots of room to run.
Rhett is over the 100-yard mark now. 101, 16 carries. 1st and 10, 38-yard line. Backs in an I set. Now they split the I and run out of the deuce behind Dean. Jack Jackson wide left to the near sideline from the left hash. Terry Dean back to throw, firing down the sideline. It'll be incomplete. It hit right into the back of Willie Cannon, the cornerback, who had his back to the ball. He was really guarding tightly on Houston. Lean, it wasn't even playing the football.
No, he wouldn't. He just got in Harrison Houston's face, running with him. The ball was overthrown, and he just continued to run into Harrison Houston and block his vision without making any attempt to find the football.
2nd and 10 for the Gators at the Kentucky 38-yard line from the left hash. 2 wide receivers wide right. Chris Doering is wide to the left. Dean dropping to throw, fires over the middle, overthrows his receiver. It's picked off again. Marty Moore picks it off at the 35, gets upfield to the 40-yard line. And another turnover, and Lee, that was a terribly thrown ball.
Bad thrown ball. Eric Rhett coming out of the backfield, hooking in front of Marty Moore, the inside linebacker for Kentucky. And Terry Dean just overthrew that ball grossly because Marty Moore was 3 or 4 yards behind Eric Rhett, and the ball went straight into Moore's hands.
Another Florida turnover. That's their 4th turnover tonight. Kentucky starts at its own 44 from the right hash. Backs in the stack I. 12-12 to go 3rd quarter. Kentucky leads 14-9. Jones hands the ball off to the fullback Damon Hood, who is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. It is 2nd and 8 for Kentucky at the Wildcat 46. Sideline right, open field to the left. Mark Chapman out wide to the left as a receiver for Kentucky. Backs in a stack I. Williams is the tailback. Jones back to pass, firing the ball deep down the field. It's incomplete. Chapman, the intended receiver, running down the hash mark left side. And the ball overthrown as the Gators had coverage from Lawrence Wright.
Lawrence Wright playing tight on that wide receiver. They tried to take him deep. He was running stride for stride with the receiver. Ball was overthrown.
All right, here we go. 3rd down and 8 for Kentucky at its own 46. Pookie Jones from the shotgun. 2 wide receivers wide to the left, 2 wide right. Jones takes the snap. Now will run it upfield, and the flag goes in on the play as they get Jones and knock him back at the 40-yard line. Henry McMillan was there, and a whole lot of Gators were around Pookie Jones that time. Be a loss on the play and also a holding call against Kentucky. And the penalty will be declined, and Nicky Nichols will go in to punt again for Kentucky. Larry Kennedy is deep. Kennedy will catch it somewhere around his 25-yard line.
I think this is an important drive for this Gator team offensively. Get a little enthusiasm, a little excitement back in this team.
Nichols 3 punts tonight, 37-yard average. Low snap, Gators coming, but they can't block it. Nichols got it off. A high kick. Kennedy comes up and makes the catch at the 24-yard line. They just missed it. That was a 35-yard kick. Gators will start at their 24-yard line. Willie Jackson, Harrison Houston come wide left to the near sideline. The backs are split. Kelvin Randolph and Eric Rhett. Gator drive starts at its own 24-yard line as Dean rolls left behind a blitzing linebacker, scoots out to the left and can't turn the corner. He got away from one guy who blitzed in there, Howard Carter, but then could not elude Matt Noose, the middle linebacker. And a loss on the play of about a yard. 10.5 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. A fired-up Kentucky sideline as the Wildcats lead 14-9. The loss of 2. 2nd and 12 for Florida, back at its own 23. Again, Randolph and Rhett are split. 2 wide receivers go out wide right side. Dean calls the cadence, takes the snap, drops to throw, looks to fire, has a receiver, Calvin Randolph at the 30, the 35, burrows his way forward, has 3 guys on him, and finally they stop him at the 40-yard line. That's enough for a Florida first down after a gain of 17 yards. And Lee, there's the value of Calvin Randolph, who is one of the sure hands guys on this team.
Great play. Randolph hit up in the line of scrimmage like he was blocking on the right side, then came out of the backfield, crossing from right to left, got down the field about 10 yards, wide open, uncovered. Everybody else had dropped off. That's the first time, I think, that the fullback has touched the ball tonight.
Gators have 19 first downs. First and 10, 40-yard line. Brett in a one-back set. Jack Jackson wide left, 2 wide receivers out far wide right side. Dean fires to the right to Harrison Houston. He makes the catch at the 45, turns upfield and gets a couple of more yards to around the Gator 47-yard line.
That was just a little quick hitch pattern to Harrison Houston. He was on the inside and the 2 receiver side. Just went down the field, found the soft spot. Terry Dean delivered.
2nd and 3 Gators. Their own 47. Greg Keller lines up tight end on the left. Back split behind Dean. Randolph and Rhett. Play clock down to 2. Dean takes the snap, throws it out wide to the right, has Willie Jackson at the 44-yard line in Kentucky territory, and he stopped right there.
About a 10-yard, 8-yard out, which is something different. Gators are doing a few different things right now on this drive that they did not do in the first half. It was a nice throw and catch.
Gators have their 20th first down unofficially. Jackson tonight, 6 catches, 40 yards. Gators 1st and 10, just across midfield at the Wildcat 49. Dean hands the ball off to Rhett, and he runs straight forward inside the 45, still pushing forward down to around the 40-yard line. Eric Rhett is having quite a night again for the 4th consecutive game against Kentucky. He's rushed for over 100 yards, and he got about 8 or 9 that time before Deuce Williams, the right linebacker, and Chris Ward, the right defensive end, brought him down after a gain of 8.
That was a draw play. Good surge by the offensive line making that happen. Wasn't a big running lane, but it was soft up there, and Rhett was able to push down the field for about 8 yards.
Jack Jackson wide right, Willie Jackson wide to the left. Running back split on a 2nd and 2 call from the 41-yard line. Terry Dean takes the snap, drops back 7 yards, looks to throw, fires over the middle. He's got a receiver at the 35-yard line, the fullback Randolph again. And the Gators have picked up another first down.
And that was different that time. You had 2 backs in the offense that time. Randolph, he hooked over the middle, and that's who Terry Dean gave the ball to, right over the middle, and Randolph pushed it up the field to get plenty of yards for the first down.
Gators have 154 yards passing to go along with about 170 yards rushing. But Florida trails by 5. Terry Dean dropping back to throw, has plenty of time. No one's open, though. He rolls right, under pressure, tries to turn the corner, and he's been cut down by Deuce Williams, the right linebacker. He had all kinds of time, but Kentucky had coverage deep. Indeed, tried to scramble, didn't get much. Terry Dean has rushed 14 times tonight for 61 yards. 2nd and 11. 35-yard line. Chris Doering, one of 3 wide receivers in the game for the Gators. On a one-back set, Rhett. Dean dropping to throw, rolling left, looking, and firing back across the grain, and it's intercepted, picked off by Deuce Williams, who stepped in front of Chris Doering after Dean rolled left and then tried to throw it back across the grain, and it's another Gator turnover, the 5th against Florida tonight.
Oh, goodness gracious. Terry Dean had a little wheel pattern setting up to the 3 receiver side, had Chris Doering crossing over from left to right. Terry Dean thought he could get the ball over the defender's head into Doering's hands, but did not, and threw another interception. Vic, you see life to this offense. You see where it can work. The Gators are shooting themselves in the foot with turnovers.
Kentucky starts at its own 24. 7:07 to play, 3rd quarter. Out of the stack eye, they give the ball off to Mo Williams, the tailback, and he gets a couple of yards out across the 25 on the left hash. And there's a running play again, the fullback Damon Hood trying to power forward, gets to around the 29-yard line, has about 3, where Dexter Daniels in on the stop.
Good job by the defense that time, crushing that play right at the point of attack.
All right. Kentucky tonight 2 of 6 on third down. The Cats come with 3rd and 5 from their own 29 on the left hash. Backs in a stack eye. Jones on the toss back to Williams. He looks to throw a pass down the field, down the right sideline. It is incomplete.
The halfback pass, trying to hit the wide receiver, running a corner pattern. Larry Kennedy and Michael Gilmore had it covered perfectly. The ball would have been thrown to the right spot. Larry Kennedy would have picked it off.
Randy Wyatt started his career at the University of Louisville, played wide receiver. Now is a tailback and turned quarterback there, throwing an incomplete pass. Nicky Nichols in to punt again. Larry Kennedy's deep. Here's the kick by Nichols. It's high and short. Going to come down and hit at the 40, take a Kentucky roll inside the 30, and trickles to a stop at around the 28. That ball one-hopped its way 12 yards to Kentucky's advantage. And the Gators will start inside their own 30-yard line with 5:25 to play in the third quarter. He leads 14-9 as Danny Wuerffel will go in to quarterback the Gators. And now he's in for his second play of the night, first here in this half. Randolph and Rhett in the eye set, and here's a handoff to Rhett, and Rhett has been hit and dropped for a loss of about a yard by the hungry Wildcat defenders. Second down and 12 now for the Gators.
Gators ran the draw play that time. Of course, the linebackers just went nowhere. They obviously had a sense that that was coming, and they were there to stuff it.
Willie Jackson wide right. Houston and Doring wide to the left. Second and 12, backs in an eye set, and this is Wuerffel back to throw and fires incomplete through the hands of Doring at the 40-yard line. He hasn't dropped many, but he had both hands on it there at the 40. It's 3rd and 12. They've got 4 wideouts: Houston, Jackson, and Doring. Rhett in the one-back set. 3rd and 12. From their own 26-yard line. Wuerffel dropping back, rolling to his right, fires the ball underneath to Houston. He's got the catch at the 35 and pushed out of bounds short of a first down. He's out at around the, well, they're going to mark it at around the 34-yard line as the Wildcats have stopped the Gators. Shane Edge will punt. Antonio O'Farrell is deep in single punt safety. Good snap. Edge has kicked it well tonight, has hit this ball well. O'Farrell is drifting back, makes an over-the-shoulder catch inside the 15-yard line, and he is dropped there at around the 13-yard line after a 51-yard punt by Shane Edge.
And that can win football games right there. Defense plays well, field position. They just turned the field over. The ball was down on the Gator end. Now it's far on the Kentucky end, sitting inside the 15-yard line. The defense is playing well at the moment.
Kentucky will start the drive at its own 14-yard line. 1st and 10. 4:25 to go third quarter. Kentucky 14, the Gators 9. This is a running play to Raymond McLaren, the wingback off the left side, and he brings it to the 16-yard line, a gain of maybe 2 yards.
First guy through. Gators were there, stood it up, played it nicely.
Tonight on the ground, the Kentucky team has rushed for 119 yards. 2nd and 8, 16-yard line, backs in a stack eye behind Pookie Jones. And Jones on the option, rolls left, now pitches it ahead, and it's intercepted, I think picked off on a pitch out. No, they say incomplete. Oh, almost had it. Ben Hanks could not hang on.
Looked like Ben Hanks tried to jump up and intercept that lateral and had a chance at it, but couldn't hold on to it.
And now it's 3rd down and 8 for the Wildcats' 16-yard line. Oh, man, this is a big defensive play here now for the Gators on 3rd and 8, 16-yard line. From the left hash, Pookie Jones in the shotgun, standing back there, now stepping up, wanting to run, and Henry McMillan couldn't get him, but they try and stop him as he crosses the 23-yard line, and he's close.
He is close.
Anthony Lott came up and stopped him. 4th down and about a foot to go for Kentucky. Gator defensive front digs in.
Wow, the ball's on the 20-something yard line.
All right, here we go. Jones calling for the football. A long cadence. Maybe trying to draw him off. There is movement, and a flag goes down. And I believe the Gators have been suckered in.
Well, that's what they were trying to do.
Movement by the Gators defense. I think David Bernard was the one that actually went offside. Kentucky 1st and 10. 29-yard line. Cameron Davis sprinting to get off the field. He was the 12th man, and he makes it safely to the sideline. Here's Pookie Jones on an option. Sprints it to the right. Keeps the football. 35, 40, and crosses the 40-yard line. Monty Groh was guarding the tailback. Randy Wyatt had his back to the quarterback, Jones, who just used Monty Groh's backside to run the ball.
He sure did. It looked like Monty Groh was blocking for Pookie Jones coming down the field. They faked the ball inside. Jones keeps the ball going down the line.
1st and 10, Kentucky at its own 45 from the right hash. Kentucky leads 14-9, late third quarter. Jones calls the cadence, now takes the snap, hands the ball off to the tailback off the left side as Maurice Williams gets near midfield, a gain of about 5. 2nd and 4 for the Cats at midfield. Pookie Jones hands the ball off to the fullback Damon Hood, and he's stood up immediately at the line of scrimmage. Kentucky, 3rd and 4. Tonight, 2 of 8 on 3rd downs. Tim Calvert goes wide to the left, as does Alfonso Browning. Troy Hobbs comes wide right. Jones will operate from a shotgun formation at midfield. 3rd and 4. There's the snap. Gators coming. Jones unloads, throws the ball. It's caught, but short of a first down, thanks to Lawrence Wright, who tackled Randy Wyatt about 1.5 yards short of what he needed.
Jones tried to hit that ball out in the flat. Receiver was open, had to bend down to catch it, and before he could even straighten his back up.
We're under a minute to play in the third quarter. Bill Curry's team leading 14-9. You know, Curry has never beaten the Gators. He's 0-6. Troy Hodge comes wide right. Backs in a stack eye. 4th down and a foot. Gator defense digging in. There's Pookie Jones trying to surge forward, needing a foot. It'll be close, depending where they measure, as he tried to run it behind the center, Wesley Jackson, 284-pound center from Louisville. 38 seconds to go, third quarter. Now Kentucky has been awarded a first down. The drive remains alive. Tonight, Kentucky has 11 first downs. Half minute to play, third period. Kentucky has 1st and 10 from the Florida 44-yard line, operating on the left hash. Backs in a stack eye. Wide receiver wide to the right, but they keep it on the ground and run the ball to the tailback, Mo Williams, off the left side, and he got only to the line of scrimmage. And that'll be the final play of the third quarter. And this crowd of more than 57,000 comes to its feet to applaud the effort of the Kentucky Wildcats tonight. Because as we go to the fourth quarter here in Lexington, the score is Kentucky 14 and Florida 9. Here we go, first play, fourth quarter. It's 2nd and 9 from the 43-yard line. Jones handing the ball off to Damon Hood, the fullback, pushing straight ahead, gets to around the 37-yard line, a gain of about 6 yards before he's been stopped by the Gator defense, and Kentucky will have 3rd and short.
First man through the fullback that time. A little bit wider mesh point, near the tackle, found a soft spot, got up the field, makes it 3rd and 4.
Kentucky on 3rd and 4 out of the stack eye, and Jones in the option rolls right, has a first down, inside the 30-yard line, inside the 20, stuck and dropped there at the 15-yard line on a big hit by Larry Kennedy, but he's playing in the secondary, and that's after a 23-yard gain by Jones, and Kentucky has a first down as he got away from the first line of defense and then ran away from the linebacker, Ed Robinson, who couldn't catch up to him. Tim Calvert wide to the left. Hood, McLaren, and Williams in the eye. Behind Jones. 1st and 10, 15-yard line. There's the handoff to Williams, running straight ahead. Gets inside the 10 and dropped at the 7-yard line. The 3 safety, Michael Gilmore, had to make the tackle. Mo Williams has hit the 100-yard mark now, unofficially. 105 yards, 7 carries. It's 2nd down, a yard to go from the 6-yard line. Williams dots the stack eye behind Pookie Jones. There's the snap. Jones hands the ball off to Hood, the fullback, needing a yard, and he's got it. Kentucky has a 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. 1st and goal, 4-yard line, and a flag has been dropped. Delay of game. Too much time will cost Kentucky 5. It'll be 1st and goal back at the 9-yard line. Jones takes the snap, has the football, rolls left, and he'll be hemmed in and thrown for a loss as the Gators converge to make the tackle on Jones for a loss on the play.
Jones trying to run the option to the left, and they just shut the play down for a loss.
And now it's 2nd down, goal from the 13-yard line. Tight end on the right is Samuels. Split wide left is Hobbs. Backs in the stack I. And Jones hands the ball off to the wingback McLaren, who powers his way up the field and gets to around the 5-yard line. A gain of about 8. And it's 3rd down and goal from the 5-yard line. Right hash mark. Chapman goes out wide to the right. Now he comes in motion wide left to the strong side of the field. Williams, the eye, and Jones on the fake, rolls left, stumbles. The Gators get him. He throws anyway, and it's incomplete. Oh, my. Jones was stumbling around. The Gators had him, but couldn't hang on when he unloaded and threw it back in the end zone for an incomplete pass. It will be 4th down.
Looked like they're going to get the sack and maybe cause a fumble. He had that ball out, swinging it free, and didn't have his balance or his awareness, but he was able to raise his head
and
throw the ball out of the end zone.
Yuhan Leonov will attempt a field goal. This looks to be a 22-yard field goal from the right hash. Matt Riazzi to hold. There's the snap, a good one. The set down. Leonov kicks it up, and it is good. A 22-yard field goal by the Finn, Yuhan Leonov. 10:32 to play, 4th quarter. Time is out in Lexington with the score. Kentucky 17, the Gators 9.
Danny Wuerffel, the quarterback.
And the Gators will start it at the 12-yard line. Moving left to right in the 4th quarter. Wuerffel dropping back, throwing it out wide right. Jack Jackson makes the catch at the 15-yard line. A gain of 3 yards. Don Robinson, the corner, covering on the play there for the Wildcats. Robinson.
Just a quick hitch by Jack Jackson to the short field. Not as short as it used to be because of the hash marks being moved, but to the right.
The Gators have certainly stopped themselves. 5 of their 10 drives tonight have ended with interceptions. 2nd and 7, 15-yard line. Sideline, right open field left. Rhett, the only back. Wuerffel throwing it out wide to the left, and he's got a receiver, and the ball has been dropped. What a perfect strike. It was Aubrey Hill not hanging on.
You haven't seen that in a long time. Aubrey Hill runs a corner pattern against man coverage. Danny Wuerffel throws a perfect strike, and the ball is dropped over near the boundary.
3rd and 7. Well, the Gators came to Kentucky tonight with great respect for Kentucky, and Kentucky has responded while the Gators have stumbled around. 3rd and 7, 15-yard line. Wuerffel drops back and looks to throw and fires to Jackson, who makes the catch at the 23-yard line. Well, he should have a first down, but right by it. Could be that mysterious spot once again. We'll have to wait and see. Don Robinson again made the tackle, and they give Florida a first down. The Gators now tonight in the first down column have registered 22 of them.
That was a great catch by Jack Jackson coming from his outside position on the right, inside. The ball was high. He went up and made a tough catch with the defender on his back.
1st and 10, 23-yard line. Rhett in the one-back set. Gators have 2 wide to the left. Chris Doering on the right side, along with Jack Jackson. Wuerffel dropping the throw and firing the ball deep between the hash marks. Overthrown, incomplete. Willie Jackson could not catch up with it. And at the 35-yard line, Kentucky had coverage downfield as Willie Cannon was covering, and Wuerffel just overthrew Jackson.
Willie Jackson, man-to-man coverage, trying to go on the post. Wuerffel hung it up down the middle of the field. Willie just could not quite get there. A little overthrown.
9:01 to go in the 4th quarter. Gators tonight with just 1 touchdown. A whole boatload of yards, however, but they're down 17-9. 2nd and 10. Gators their own 23 right hash. Wuerffel again to throw, right sideline. He overthrows his receiver. Incomplete. Danny Wuerffel tonight has thrown 7 times and has completed 2. 11 total yards. Jack Jackson, Harrison Houston, Chris Doering wide left. Willie Jackson wide right. 3rd and 10, 23-yard line. Werfel dropping back and firing. He's got Doring. He's got a first down at the 40, the 45, and up to the 48-yard line as Chris Doring hauls it in for a 25-yard reception on 3rd and 10.
And what a precise throw. Chris Doring running a very disciplined route across the middle, and Werfel just threw a strike to him. Kentucky really crowding the Gator receivers on this man-to-man coverage. They have deep help, and they're getting in their face on the last couple of plays and daring them to come open on those short routes.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Gators at their own 49 from the right hash. Here's the handoff to Rhett. Got a first down straight up the middle, inside the 40, spinning his way upfield as he's hit and finally goes down at the 36-yard line, a gain on the play of about 15 yards before the free safety Stephen Hall and defensive tackle Billy Lofton stopped Eric Rutt, who has not had much of an opportunity to contribute here in the second half after a stellar first half in which he gained 89 yards. For the ball game now, he's got 18 carries and 120 yards.
Nice looking draw play. This is where the Gators have to bear down, though. They've done this before. Now they're near 35-yard line. They've got to go to work and concentrate.
2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 1st and 10, 36-yard line. Werfel back to throw, fires down the middle and throws incomplete for Harrison Houston between the hash marks at the 5-yard line. 2nd and 10 will be upcoming.
It's a little bit of a dare you kind of thing with Kentucky playing the Florida receivers tight. Now Florida trying to challenge that deep.
8:02 left. 17-9 Wildcats. Trying to upset the nation's 7th-ranked team. 2nd and 10, 36-yard line. Gators have Darrell Frazier in the game as a wideout. Werfel back to throw, fires toward the sidelines. Got Doring at the 21-yard line, shoved upfield and out of bounds. Perfect. At the 18-yard line by Stephen Hall.
Just perfect by both those guys. That was a zone that time. 5 short, 2 deep. Doring, the inside slot receiver, goes up, breaks between the corner and the safety. The outside guy, Jack Jackson, runs a hitch pattern. Danny Werfel throws a perfect strike as Chris Doring turns his head right by the boundary. Nice catch.
Doring, 4 catches, 51 yards. Werfel, 5 of 11 for 61 yards tonight. 1st and 10, 19-yard line. Sideline right, open field left. Werfel a short drop, looking to throw over the middle. He's got Doring down to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown for Chris Doring. Oh my, 19-yard score. And Doring's having a big night. And it's 17-15.
You know, I think that night for me was special in so many different ways because I had the opportunity to start my first collegiate game as a Gator that night. Early on in the 4th quarter, I caught my first collegiate touchdown, which I thought was a dream come true. And little did I know that just, several minutes later on in that ball game, I'd have a chance to be a part of one of the most famous plays in Gator history.
That time, still 2 deep, 5 under, but instead of Doring, he pushed up the field like he just did the play before, as if he might go to the corner. Instead, he broke between the safeties. Werfel threw it, and Doring went up and got it, and it just gives you chills. Beautiful execution.
All right, the Gators are going for a 2-point conversion try in an effort to tie the score. They'll also take time out to call a play. 7:36 left. Gators did not have a center in the game, I think is what it was. Well, see, here's a play where Swain would not normally be snapping on kicks.
Right.
And they're going for 2.
Right.
So Swain's got to get in there.
Right.
So not quite crisp. And they had to burn a timeout.
Right.
But what a catch by Doring, who extended himself out, went up with both hands and hauled it in. That's his first Florida touchdown. Beautiful. Yeah, the Gators down by 2, 7:35 to go in the ball game. We have an update from Knoxville. Tennessee has extended its lead to 21-6 at the half against Georgia.
Werfel.
And let's hear from Steve Babbitt.
Guys, I'll tell you what happened last time. When they got out there to go for that 2-point conversion, they had 11 guys out there, but they were missing one. Well, they had 10 guys that were missing one. A center. The center had left the field. They had no center out there. They had to call timeout to get somebody on the field.
All right, we got a center now. We got 4 wide receivers in the ball game.
Okay.
Gators from the 3-yard line in a 2-point try on a 1-back set. Eric Rhett.
Understand the situation. The score 17-15. Going to take a field goal to win. So if the Gators come up short, a field goal can still win the game. Danny Wuerffel on that drive, what he did better than anybody's done all night is anticipate. He threw the ball to the corner in a tight coverage, but he threw it early before it all happened. He threw it out there, and he did the same thing across the middle that time. Right when Chris Doering made his break off the hash mark, turned his head, the ball was on the way, and of course Doering just, as he has lots of courage, and he went in and made that catch. But Danny Wuerffel throws the ball and allows him to go do that by anticipating.
All right, Jack Jackson is wide to the left. Sean Nunn tight end left. Harrison Houston, Willie Jackson wide to the right. Eric Brett in the one-back set. From the 3-yard line, Wuerffel rolls right, throws the ball to Willie Jackson. Got to spin, get in, turn up, he's in! 2-point conversion! As Willie Jackson caught it at the 2 and then spun around and got in, and we are tied at 17 with 7:36 to go in the game. A flag has also been thrown in on the play. Willie Jackson made a great catch.
I don't know how they made that one work. They threw it against extremely tight coverage. Willie Jackson caught a little hitch pattern right before the goal line with guys all around him, and somehow he fought his body into the end zone.
Let's take time out. 7:36 left. Personal foul penalty on Kentucky. Back with more in a moment. Kentucky 17, Florida 17. Well, the Gators have tied the game on an 11-play, 88-yard drive, which took 2 minutes and 40 seconds. The score was a 19-yard throw from Wuerffel to Doering, and the all-important conversion, a 2-point try, successful from Wuerffel to Willie Jackson, tied the score at 17. There was a personal foul penalty against the Kentucky team. The officials originally called it on Kentucky and then got a little bit confused. Well, maybe they didn't. They've got the ball at the 20-yard line now.
The official looks like he's going to kick it.
We're going to have to wait and separate this here. They had at the 20, which would be a 15-yard step off against Florida, but we'll have to wait and see. I thought the call was personal foul on Kentucky. Apparently was 15 yards assessed against Florida. Steve Spurrier wants to know what's going on over there as well. Boy, 15 yards. The Gators could have maybe kicked it at the 50, but now they got to kick it at the 20.
Wow, I don't understand that.
Unless they call that celebratory penalty again.
Well, they seem to point towards Kentucky as if the penalty was clearly against them.
Edge at the 20. And here he's into the football. He's hit it pretty well. It's going to come down to Randy Wyatt at the 20-yard line. Wyatt upfield to the 30, 35, tries to pop to the outside and is run out of bounds shy of the 40-yard line. Anthony Riggins did a good job of covering there. All right, 7:29 to play in the fourth quarter. Gators 17 and Kentucky 17. All right, let's hear from Steve Babbitt.
Well, basically, Mick, you know, when they signaled personal foul, they pointed toward Kentucky initially. Apparently, they made a mistake. They meant to point against the Gators. Somebody on the offensive line, apparently, a little shoving going on, and they flagged Florida, so that was the confusion. And that's why Coach Spurrier was out there saying, you signal against Kentucky, we're going to have marked off against us. What's the story?
All right. Florida on defense. Kentucky with the ball at 1st and 10. The drive starts 39-yard line, right hash. They hand it off to the running back, Matt Riazzi, out of the wing back. And he's off the right side for a couple of yards. And again, Dexter Daniels in on the play. Like that Raymond McLaren in on the run there for Kentucky. No, that was Riazzi.
Keep in mind, there's 7:10 on the clock. Kentucky with no timeouts. The Gators with 2.
7 minutes left. 17-17. 3-yard gain at 2nd and 7 for the Wildcats at their own 42-yard line. Pookie Jones operating at quarterback, has the football in the option, rolls to his left, tries to turn the corner, fumbles the football. It's picked up there by the tailback, Mo Williams, who carries the ball out of bounds, and Kentucky dodged the bullet. The Gators were just an eyelash from a turnover, but Kentucky will keep it as the ball went out of bounds at the 46-yard line, and they will gain about 4 yards.
Actually, Gators may have dodged a bullet themselves because it looked like if Pookie Jones could have held on to that ball, he was going to run for several yards. But you're right, the ball was on the ground long enough for a white jersey to get a hold of it as well.
Terry Samuels comes in at tight end, replacing Corey Reeves, bringing a play from the Wildcat sideline. Darrell Dickey is the Kentucky offensive coordinator. Samuels, tight end on the right, backs to the stack eye. On a 3rd and 4 from the 45-yard line, left hash mark. Pookie Jones hands the ball off to the tailback, and the Gators stop him. They stop the run as Williams gets nowhere. Big nasty William Gaines makes the stop, and the Gator defense has held as Nicky Nichols comes in to punt.
You can feel it, you can see it. The Gator enthusiasm is now up. That drive just pumped life into this team. Understandably so. There were some great plays. That was a critical drive. The defense stuffed Kentucky. I think you're going to see some intensity for the next 6 minutes out of the Gators.
Larry Kennedy back at the 20. Nichols will hit it at the 35. There's the snap. Gators peel back, try and set something up. Very high kick, and Kennedy will have to signal for a fair catch. He comes up and makes the grab at the 22-yard line. Willie Jackson is hobbling on the Florida sideline. Boy, what a reception and dive into the end zone he made for the two-point conversion.
Great play.
First and 10, 23-yard line. Willie's not in the game right now as the Gators come from their own 23-yard line. Rhett in a one-back set. Werfel hands the ball off to Rhett. Huge hole open straight ahead. Eric's got a first down out across the 30-yard line, rambling to around the 35, a gain of a dozen or so before David Snarton brought him down, the sophomore left linebacker from Louisville who was all SEC as a freshman last year.
Just a straight draw play that's been so successful tonight. Werfel drops back, slips it in Rhett's belly, and he goes straight ahead and picks up a first down.
27 first downs for the Gators, 133 yards on 20 carries by Rhett tonight. First and 10, 34-yard line. Werfel hands it off to Rhett again, running off the left side between guard and tackle, and he gets across the 36, maybe the 37-yard line, a gain of perhaps 3 before defensive tackle Roger Sullivan's in on the stop.
A little belly play that time.
Chris Doring comes in the game now as a receiver for the Gators.
Houston, Doring, Jack Jackson, Aubrey Hill, 4 receivers.
And Rhett the one back. Second and 7, 37-yard line. Werfel to throw, fires over the middle, it's intercepted. Marty Moore, 6th interception thrown by Florida. Moore returns to the 45-yard line. Again, the deep drop by the middle linebacker, and Werfel airmailed it right into Moore's arms.
Threw it right into his hands.
I think Chris Doring was the intended receiver.
Yeah, Doring was the inside guy trying to break around him. Danny Werfel just acted like he really didn't see him.
All right, Kentucky will have the ball. Second interception tonight for Marty Moore. First and 10, 44-yard line. Kentucky moving from right to left at the Florida 44 from the right hash. Backs in a stack eye. And Jones on the option tries to turn the corner and gets maybe a yard or so. And let's go down to the sideline and hear from Steve.
Well, guys, not good news. When you called the wide receivers Lee McGriff last time, you left out Willie Jackson. I'll tell you why. Willie Jackson is out with a left knee sprain. He's done for the rest of the night. What a great effort he made on that two-point conversion. Also, Ben Hanks, left sprained ankle, hasn't been able to get loose. Henry Haston out there in defense for Ben Hanks. And thirdly, Greg Killer has a groin pull. He will not go back in either.
All right, thanks, Steve. Second and 9, 43-yard line from the right hash. Backs in a stack eye for Kentucky. 4:10 to go. Play clock down to 2 seconds. Jones in the option, looks left, now will set up and throw the ball deep down the field. It is going to be incomplete. Oh my, what a pass breakup down there. Mark Chapman was going to get the ball, but Eddie Lake said no, and he broke it up.
Just a beautiful play. It was the option. Come down the side, down the line on the left side, set up, got a wide receiver coming from left to right, running the post. Eddie Lake all alone on his man and just played it perfectly. Reached in with the right hand and slapped it away.
As soon as the ball hit Chapman's hand, Lake finished him off. Now Troy Hobbs comes wide left, Tim Calvert goes wide right. Kentucky will have 3 wideouts coming left side, 1 to the right. Also got a fullback in the slot as Jones works from the shotgun. 3rd and 9, 43-yard line. Pookie, a quick screen out to Hobbs. Hobbs has it, and he's going to throw it back across the field to Jones. The quarterback at the 50, 45, but stopped short on a beautiful tackle by the Gators' Henry McMillan on the far sideline as the Gators snuff out the Wildcat attempted razzle-dazzle.
What a play by McMillan, who they threw a quick screen out all the way to the left to try and make the defense chase it, to throw it back to Pookie Jones. McMillan was pursuing the first pass to the screen, turned around, chased it down all the way across the field. Unbelievable for a big guy to make that play.
A Big Mac attack and a shoestring tackle. Nichols into punt, and he tries to hit it at the 45. The Gators did not block it, but it's a high kick. They're trying to get it inside the 15-yard line. It hits at the 15, takes another Kentucky roll. Man, if they had some rolls tonight, this one will roll to the 5-yard line. 36-yard kick, and that's just what they needed.
Yeah, their kicking game has been, Kentucky's kicking game has been just outstanding.
1st and 10, the Gators start at their own 5-yard line. They started without Willie Jackson out of the game with a left knee sprain. Jack Jackson is out wide to the right. Werfel rolling left, looking to throw toward the sideline. It's picked off again. Another interception. As I believe Willie Cannon, the corner, came up and picked it off. And the turnovers have bitten the Gators and Steve Spurrier tonight.
In the middle of the 4th quarter, I went back in and threw a touchdown, and things looked good, but then I threw 2 more interceptions. So I think Coach Spurrier was beside himself. He didn't know what to do, and fortunately for me, he left me in for that last drive.
Tried to throw the corner pattern against that 2-deep zone. The underneath people sagged way deep. There was no room to get the ball in. Danny Werfel just threw an interception.
Now Kentucky will have it at the 15-yard line. 3:03 left. Willie Cannon has had a great night, and he's had a great night before against Florida. He made his first start of his career last year against the Gators in Gainesville at 15 tackles. Blocked a Shane Edge punt in 1991 as a special teams performer. 1st and 10 as the Cats run the football straight ahead. It's Matt Riazzi, and he gets down to the 11-yard line.
Certainly Kentucky's got to think in terms of being fairly conservative, trying to get the ball in the end zone, of course, but not turning it over, grinding down the clock, kick the field goal to win if they have to.
Ed Robinson, William Gaines, and on the play. Remember now, Kentucky is out of timeouts. The Gators have 2 left. 2nd and 6, 11-yard line. Backs in a stack I behind Pookie Jones. Mark Chapman wide to the left. There's the snap to Jones. He hands it off to Hood, the fullback, straight ahead. Gets inside the 10-yard line down to around the 7. Hood 6'2" and 230. Big bowling ball type of a back from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Now the Gators send in David Bernard on the defensive line, and also Henry McMillan. Kentucky is just 3 of 13 on 3rd downs tonight. William Gaines is shaken up as Gator training staff will go out and attend to William Gaines. 1:54 left. Kentucky 17, Florida 17. Kentucky trying to beat a ranked team for the first time since 1988 when it beat 11th ranked Georgia. They've lost 11 since. Kentucky has lost its last 5 SEC openers. They're playing the Gators to the final moments tonight. A 17 all tie. 1:50 to play. It's 3rd down and 2 for Kentucky at the Florida 7-yard line. Hold on. Backs in a stack I. Jones, the quarterback. And it tries to hand it off, but there's all kinds of confusion. The Gators come in and swarm him and stop him. It was Hood that got the ball, but he had no chance because the Gators played good run defense, and they knocked him down.
And the clock stopped by Gator timeout with 1:26. The ball sits directly in the middle of the field on about the 6 or 7 yard line, right in front of the goalpost.
And Juha Leonov will try and hit this, which would be about a 24-yard kick. The ball is really between the hash marks. It's centered up very nicely. Juha Leonov from Helsinki, Finland, a junior who has not earned a letter at Kentucky. He kicks this one for a game winner. He may have a letter by the morning. All right. Matt Riazzi will hold. They're going to set it at the 15. It'll be a 25-yard kick. 1:26 left. All right, here we go. Boy, he's centered up perfectly. There's the snap. It's high. Riazzi gets it down. Leonov kicks it up, and it's good. He hit it. Time is out. 1:23 to go. Time out with the score. Kentucky 20, Florida 17. Kentucky drive, 4 plays, 25 yards. 1:40. Leonov with the 25-yard field goal has given Kentucky a 20-17 lead. 1:23 left to play in the game. As Dan Thompson will kick it off for the Wildcats. More than 57,000 people holding their breath here in Lexington tonight as Thompson hits the football high and not real deep. Houston will catch it. Now he backs up a little deeper than I thought. He's to the 1, to the 10, left side 15, out across the 20, down to 25, across the 30, upfield the 35, into the 40-yard line. Another good run back by Harrison Houston out of Pensacola, Pine Forest High School. Key run back. And the Gators, with 1:14 left, will send redshirt freshman Danny Werfel in to try and engineer a game-winning drive in the final 74 seconds.
Plenty of time. One timeout left.
20-17, Kentucky by 3. Danny Werfel, 6'2", 202, redshirt Fort Walton Beach. 4 wideouts for the Gators. Werfel drops back and looks, throws over the middle. He's got his receiver, Eric Rett. He's close to a first down in Kentucky territory at the Wildcat 49-yard line. Marty Moore made the stop, maybe about a foot short or so, as the clock is inside of a minute. The Gators have to come quickly without a huddle. 55 seconds left. Second down, 1, 49-yard line. 2 wide receivers wide to the right. Werfel rolls right, looks and throws, and underthrows Aubrey Hill, who was standing all along at the 45-yard line, but Werfel couldn't pull the trigger. Stops the clock, however, with 45 seconds remaining.
Werfel sprinting out, wasn't open when he wanted to throw it, then he had to scramble a little bit more. And as you described, Aubrey Hill was standing about 5 yards beyond the first down marker, and Werfel just couldn't get the ball there, threw it into the ground.
Third down, a yard to go, 49 seconds. Third down and 1 from the 49. 45 seconds left. Gators have 1 timeout. All right, 3rd and 1, Werfel to throw, and it's going to be caught for a first down. Jack Jackson coming near sideline at the 40-yard line, tries to cut upfield, and is cut down at the 40, could not get out of bounds. He's got a first down at the Kentucky 40-yard line.
Crossing pattern straight across the field by Jack Jackson. About a 5 to 8 yard depth pattern coming from left to right, full speed. Werfel hit him on the dead run. First down.
All right, 1st and 10, 40-yard line. From the right hash. 2 wideouts to the left for Werfel, who drops the throw and fires quickly, and it's incomplete through the hand of, off the hand of Doring, and also off the hand of the cornerback covering Don Robinson. Incomplete. It will stop the clock with 26 seconds left.
Well, it was an out pattern from the slot position by Doring, and he dove for the ball. It was an outstretched hand, and actually it was a good thing he tipped it.
2nd and 10.
26 seconds.
40-yard line. 26 seconds left. From the right hash. Werfel dropping back, looking to throw, firing over the middle. He's got a receiver. It's Redd at the 30, and Redd is tripped up at the 28-yard line. Florida has 1 timeout left.
Time for 3 or 4 more plays.
And they've now called a timeout. Gators take their final timeout of the ball game. I'm Mick Hubert, along with Lee McGriff and Steve Babbitt, here at Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington, Kentucky, where the Florida Gators have 17 seconds remaining, trailing Kentucky 20-17. The Gators are out of timeouts, as are the Wildcats. Danny Werfel is in relief of Terry Dean, and Wuerffel tonight is 8 of 17, 101 yards. Wide to the left side. Hill and Houston. Jack Jackson wide to the right, along with Chris Doering. So twins left, twins right. Eric Brett, the one-back set. 17 seconds left. 28-yard line. Wuerffel dropping the throw, firing down the right sideline. It's broken up, incomplete. The free safety, Stephen Hall, deflected it away from Jack Jackson. Clock stopped with 13 seconds.
It took 4 seconds.
Next week, we're on the air from Ben Hill Griffin Stadium at 2 o'clock Eastern Time for the Tailgater Show as the Tennessee Volunteers come to town.
Tried to hit it going straight down the boundary, the right boundary to Jack Jackson. Tried to hit it between the corner and the safety. The safety came over and swatted it down.
Hill and Palmer go wide left, 2 wide to the right. All right, Wuerffel back to throw, fires over the middle. Doering leads and can't hang on. He had a one hand on it but could not bring it to his body. Incomplete at the 14. Stops the clock with 8 seconds left. It'll be 3rd and 10 from the 28-yard line with 8 seconds remaining.
Doering working inside against that linebacker. And Wuerffel just let him, and Doering stretched his body out, got one hand on the ball, looked like it was going to stick to him, but did not.
Well, the Gators have 8 seconds. Time for a couple of plays.
You're involved in what's going on, and you know after the play has been called that this is do or die. I mean, it's over if we don't hit this play.
Jack Jackson, just Doering wide right. Aubrey Hill, Harrison Houston go wide left. 3rd and 10, 28-yard line. Wuerffel dropping back to throw, pumps and fires the ball over the middle. It's Doering! It's Doering! Got a touchdown! Doering's got a touchdown! Oh my! Doering's got a touchdown! The Gators have taken the lead! Unbelievable! Chris Doering's got a touchdown! Wow! Oh my! With 2 seconds were left on the clock! Oh, unbelievable!
And you know what, Mick? There are flags all over the field, and these officials can take their flags and put them all where they want to because the Gators are celebrating an incredible throw. There's no time on the clock. Chris Doering was in the slot, split the 2 safeties. It was a perfect strike by Danny Wuerffel over the linebacker's head into Chris Doering's hands. Touchdown. Unbelievable.
What a throw by Wuerffel. Right on the money.
I'll never forget the '93 Kentucky game. That was kind of my bursting onto the scenes in the Gator era, and it was great that it was with Chris Doering, especially at the end of the game. I went back looking to Jack Jackson and kind of pump faked and threw it down the middle to Chris, and just an amazing day, an amazing game, and one that I'll never forget.
23-20.
Well, Chris Doering, I believe we'll give you 2 scholarships.
Oh my. Oh my. Well, the scoreboard says no time left. Gators could care less at this point.
I tell you what, that moment was worth all the misery tonight. What an exciting drive, and what a show of character by Danny Wuerffel, who had every reason in the world to fold his tent, and he did not, nor did the Gators.
Chris Doering on the reception tonight. 5 catches, 79 yards. That's unofficial. They're going to put 3 seconds back on the clock, and that is the proper. I thought there was at least 2, so they're going to put 3 back. This will be a very, very, big kick maybe. Kentucky's going to get a chance here after this kick.
You know, Doering,
reload
on
3.
the previous play where he dove for the ball and couldn't come up with it, was the same pattern he ran. The play before, the linebacker that was trying to put his arm around Doering's waist and made it difficult for Doering to shake through and get open. That time, Doering just ran clean right down the hash mark and then bent it in and just caught it between the 2 safeties. Just beautiful.
It was a great play call by Coach Spurrier. Danny executed it well. The offensive line, everybody blocked, and Chris ran a great route. Chris is very quick in getting around defensive backs and linebackers. It was kind of surprising the coverage that they played, because they really played that same coverage the play before. So a lot of times you may anticipate somebody playing a different coverage, but they played the same one. It was a perfect play call, and Chris ran a great route. And, we preserved the victory when maybe we shouldn't have won that game.
Well, now they're going back the other way. Well, they're going to do it on the kickoff. Yeah, that's they had tacked the 15-yard penalty on the PAT try, but instead it's going to be 15 yards on the kickoff. There will be a kickoff because there are 3 seconds left. 23-20 lead for the Gators as Davis, out of a Shane Edge hold, will attempt point number 24. Set down, kick up, it's good. 3 seconds left to go in the game. It's Florida 24 and Kentucky 20. And not since the 1989 Gators went to Baton Rouge did they win a game on the final play. That was the Arden Krzyzewski field goal, which gave the Gators a 16-13 win. And here we come to Kentucky tonight on a similar situation where a redshirt freshman, Danny Werfel, has rallied his troops when the door was almost completely shut. In fact, it may have been closed.
I tell you what, just great character, Sloppy play, but great character. And the Gators somehow just mustered it up and went to the end zone. Just incredible. Just an incredible play, but an incredible drive.
That was such a big turning point in Gator football, I think, because so many times before, Florida had found a way to lose ball games like that and let teams hang around with them that didn't deserve to be there. And, we made a stand there. We made a play when we had to, and ended up rolling on through the rest of that year.
All right, 3 seconds left. They have to cover this kick.
They need to.
15-yard penalty. That 15-yard penalty will mean a kick at the 20-yard line. And Shane Edge will have to hit a good one, and his other guys are going to have to help him out on the kick coverage team. Back for Kentucky, the ever-dangerous Mo Williams. He's at the 22-yard line. All right, here we go. Edge into the football, hits a low knuckle ball. It bounces up at the 40-yard line, hits a Kentucky player there. It's picked up by Dante Key at the 40. Now he throws it back here to another back, and they throw it over to Wyatt. And Wyatt has the ball knocked out of his hands. The Gators stop him. They go to the sideline. The ball's out of bounds, and the game is over. Oh, my! The Gators have rallied for a thrilling win in the final moments tonight. Oh, my! Oh.
Without that win, we don't win the conference that year because we lost later to Auburn. And we were able to beat Tennessee the next week, which was their only loss in conference play. So it was a monumental victory for us, and the first big game of so many for Chris Doering. And Chris Doering, if there's ever been a player that played for Florida, that bled orange and blue, that truly loves his university, it's Chris Doering. And he was certainly a joy to coach all 5 years he was here.